We going right up in the hallway. I told y'all, XP mentorship, how to maintain relationships in business and life. Grateful, right? I'm gonna wait for some XP mentors to pull up. We gonna go in today. Today's one of those days where I really want to go in with everybody, right? How to maintain relationships, business, life. We going, yo, listen, it's gonna get crazy in this room today. I need you guys to ping the room up, and when you guys come in, raise your hand off the rip, right? Robert's here with me, first person down, XP mentorship. How you feeling, my brother? Thank you for pulling up. Robert, how you feeling, man? We about to have a great room.
Ready to rock, brother. I'm excited. How to maintain
Look, we
relationships
going
in
all the
business and
way in.
life.
Listen, I told y'all, ping the room up, share the room up. We gonna have a crazy conversation today. Today's one of those conversations where it's like how to maintain relationships in business and life. It's just gonna be a conversation style. I want to hear from everyone. Let's start pinging the room up. Let's start getting right. We gonna start getting busy in here because at the end of the day, I want to hear from everybody. Please get on the stage. Heather, get on the stage. Robert, right? Everybody. Roy, health and wealth coach. Helen, please get on stage. Curry, Charles, get on stage. Anthony, Quincy. All you guys are welcome to get on the stage because we're going to be having a good conversation today about how to maintain relationships. But if you guys can heat it up, warm it up for me, and I'm coming in. David, how you doing? Heather, how you doing? Let's start it up. Let's start warming this. Let's join up.
Yo, hello, stacked up with a pack. Alright, guys. And by the way, guys that are in the audience, make sure you come up because you can't be heard, and there's somebody you might want to ask a question or share something, and somebody might need to hear your share. So don't think that what you've got to say isn't valuable because it is. I'm going to start it right off the back. Is number one, how to maintain relationships in business and life is just always show up, but always show up authentically yourself. Don't ever try and be somebody you're not to get business. I've tried that where I was trying to block my values and my beliefs to try and get this client. Got the client and he was the biggest pain in the arse ever. So I learned from a very young age, fortunately, that never change who you are as a person to fit in with others, because it's the old adage, your tribe will be your vibe, and people either like you for who you are or they don't. That's fine. That's not on you. That's on them. And the other thing is, when you're building a business relationship up as well, I always get this on LinkedIn, and probably most of the other guys will have this same thing on LinkedIn as well, is in particular on LinkedIn, but other platforms, is that people slide into your DMs and then they start selling you. And you never ever do that. That's the biggest no-no. What I do is if ever I want to do business with somebody, I'll research that person, that company, and then I will go in with an offer of, oh, by the way, I see that you're big in, let's just sort real estate. I've got a contact of mine who is into a property and he builds properties for clients. Didn't know whether you wanted me to give you an introduction, just seeing if that would help you. So I'm not going in with a me. I'm going in with a them. And then it's what's in it for them. And then you build on that relationship. So you've started by, and people naturally want to reciprocate. They want to give back. So if I give Stack a client who was successful, Stack, in your nature of a human being and the nature of ourselves, we want to reciprocate that and say, oh, by the way, I've got this client for you, David, who's got this big party on. Oh, thanks, mate. So that's I'll start it off with that for now, and then I'll see how the flavour of the room goes, Stack. But great room and great conversation, as always, my brother. Over to you.
Come on, we in the building. I appreciate y'all. Look, everybody come to the stage, ping the room up, share the room up, let everybody know that we're in the hallway. And I want to hear from some more individuals. Let's start warming this up. How to maintain relationships in business and life. Let's just get it in. I'm gonna start warming it up in a minute, but I want to hear from you guys. Joy, welcome to the stage. Amanda, welcome to the stage. Right? Curry, welcome to the stage. Karima, long time no see. Andrea, welcome to. Scotty's in the building. Right? Let's keep going in and let's keep pinging the room up and sharing the room up and having more people come through, because when we're having a conversation podcast style today, this is going right up on the XP podcast, Stackpack podcast. I'll be clipping off clips of this, so I need you guys to come in hot with these fire ass shares because I want to hear from everybody. Ping the room up, share the room up. I'm coming in hot, and get up in the chat, get active, and Invite more people in here. Who's in here? Who wants to take the mic? Welcome to the stage, everybody. Let's go. Chef DC, thanks for coming too. Let's get it in. Who wants to take the mic?
Hello, guys. My name is Corey, and thank you very much for inviting me onto the stage. Yeah, my specialty is mostly in relationships, and it's relationships between within the marriage or boyfriend and girlfriend. So, from my perspective, especially when it comes to business, maintaining that first relationship at home is more impactful in terms of your business life. I mean, the one thing that I've noticed amongst a lot of couples that I speak to is that there's a decline within the intimacy side of things, and a lot of it is just a few things that it declines over time. And one of the things that causes that is usually that as the relationship progresses, and especially when you've got young children, it tends to end up being very transactional. That, oh, I'll do this for you and I'll do this for you, and then hopefully we can have some intimacy with it. And then they don't value the actual things, which is adventure, having fun, and being playful. So they focus on the date nights and doing so on and so forth. So for me, for example, I always say that date nights is probably the worst thing that you can do in a relationship. It's good for a relationship that's already thriving at home. So you have to build those fun things and adventure at home first. And while you're thriving on those, date night becomes very effective. If you're using date night in order to turn things around in the relationship, it becomes more destructive because now you're having to put these events in order to have great moments in the relationship. And then when you go back home, it regresses to this thing where you are stagnant. So it's very excited to be on this room. Just my little share for the day. Thank you very much.
Come on, we in the building. I appreciate that, sure, man. Well, let's keep rocking. Let's keep rolling. I appreciate you guys for coming to the stage. Yemi, Adriana, Michelle, Krista, everybody come up to the stage. Let's have a conversation. How to maintain relationships. What do you guys think the first thing is, right? I think communication. Let's just start it off, right? Communication. Put some ones in the chat. Let's start sharing the room up. That communication, right? You can maintain something with a simple communication, phone call, right? Simple communication will get you guys the furthest. Just communicate, reach out, phone call. I'm telling you right now. And if you guys agree, let's blow up the chat. Because all I got to do is reach out. All I got to do is say something. All I got to do is reach out, get this stuff squared away, right? Let's get it in. XP mentorship. My sis, Shantae came through. You know what I'm saying? Cynthia came through. All my people here. Scotty came. Scotty, listen, I want to ask you a question. Listen to this, bro. How do you think you maintain relationships in business and life? How do you think they do that, Scotty? Because I know you've been doing this for years, man. OG style. Let's talk about it.
Stack, man, I appreciate you. And, I think it comes down to just doing things in what I call the old fashioned way, the real way. You got to have those soft skills that, number one, you treat people the way you want to be treated, of course. Number two, you communicate. Number three, if you're going to disagree, you disagree agreeably. I know a lot of people in relationships, whether it be personal or business, they have a bad habit. If they disagree, they make it come across a little too harsh or a little too negative. But you can disagree agreeably. You can tell the truth. You can be upfront with people. You can never sell anybody something that you're not proud of and that you don't think they're going to love. And that goes in with both relationships, business and personal. So I think we got to be the real thing, man. We've got to be 100% who we are. We've got to share that with people the right way. And when it comes to businesses, one thing I've learned is if I'm working with someone from another business, I expect a certain amount of professionalism. But I also love it when they have something more than just professionalism, when they actually, they start a friendship with you, you start to know each other, you start to understand how many kids do they have, man? What's their life been like? What are the things that are bringing them success? What are the things that are hurting them? Where's the pain at? And then when you get to know people on that level, and they trust you and you trust them, now you can share some things that might be able to help with their pain in some way. Now, some of those things you share, you might get paid to make money from, but you got to be willing to share things also that you might not get paid or make money from. Like, well, I'll give you a perfect example, Stack. If someone was to say, "Hey, Stackpack, man, look, I haven't been feeling good lately. I've been having some issues with this or that, and my body's not feeling the same, and this hurts or that hurts." I know Stackpack would say, "Hey, man, I know some people, like, for example, Dr. Jody Bear, that could help you with that. Or I know a couple of products, man, that I've been using for a long time. I can't guarantee you that they would help or fix that, but I know that there's a possibility they can make you feel better, right? Now, sometimes you get paid off of it, sometimes you don't. I've recommended so many things through the years, Stack. Some of them are books, some of them are products, some of them are people, and a lot of them I recommend just because I believe in them and I don't make any money from it. But many times that comes back in the future, and that same person that you helped, they might be making a decision at a business and they're deciding whether to bring you in or your product in or your service in. And they remember those days when you were willing to help them with things, even when you didn't make any money from it. So those are my initial thoughts on the subject, Stack. And I just want to say, man, I really appreciate you. I know how hard you're working, man, not just in these rooms, not just with XP Mentor, but getting your name and your brand out there, dude. You're worldwide. Matter of fact, you're metaverse wide. So you got a lot going on, but you're still in here every day digging and helping build XP Mentor, man. I really appreciate you. And of course, my man Jay and Robert and all the other people that are in here every day helping out. Love you guys, man. If I can help you in any way, let me know. Reach out to me.
Let's
Scotty?
go. Look, let's go. Scotty in the building. That's what I love. Family, people that, got your back, right? That's what I'm saying. I can pick up the phone, call Scotty, get some motivational words, and get out there and get it done. Same thing with Jay, Robert, and everybody else on the stage. Pick up the phone, call your people, get that motivation, right? If you feel like that's maintaining relationships, throw some fire emojis in the chat. Picking up the phone, maintaining relationships for you and your people, right? Making sure they know what's going on. They got that, right? That push, that drive. Everybody needs that push and that drive. You got people around you that give you that push and that drive, then those are the people you need to keep around. So keep pinging up the room, keep sharing up the room. I appreciate that share, Scotty. I want to hear from some more people. Welcome to the stage, everyone. Let's keep sharing the room. The floor is open. Let's go popcorn style. Who's next? Let's get it in.
Hey, Stack, I'd love to chime in. It's
Heather,
Heather.
let go. Heather, well, look,
Oh
Heather, I
my
got a
gosh.
question for
You know what?
you.
First
So,
off, I just want to say to Scotty real quick, that was so genuine. And I did put that in the chat too. What Scotty was just talking about was leading with a caring, genuine, authentic heart. He's not out to. I mean, I'm sure everyone out on the stage is wanting to make money, right? I mean, we all got passions and everything. But man, when you lead with that type of heart, like Scotty was talking about, you're just opening up the universe to give you like abundance. So thank you so much for that share. I felt your heart when you shared that. And yeah, Stack, what question you have for me?
I
I
would
would
get
love.
look. That's what I'm saying. I got a question for you, right? Yeah, Scotty's that's the fire share. I love when Scotty shares. Look, how do you feel like people need to maintain their relationships and life in general or in business? How do you feel like the steps? What do you feel like the steps are the first steps? Talk to me.
Yeah. Well, I got a short little story about this. So, I've been an entrepreneur for about 10 years. And in the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey, my husband and I were smack dab in the middle of our 12 years of no sex. And I was over here like,
What?
okay,
What'd you say? Huh?
yes, yeah, we
Oh
had
man,
we
that's
had
that's a
12
no
years.
go.
Yeah, no, it was sucky, it was hard, very depressive state. But because the relationship wasn't going that well, what I ended up doing was putting all my energy and time into building my business. I thought, okay, well, if this thing over here isn't working, I'm just going to put all my focus into the business. But what ended up happening during those first couple of years of me building the business is I kind of forgot my family. I'm not really proud to say that, but I remember I'd be on my laptop, sitting on my laptop, talking to other people, building relationships like we talk about in here. It's the first key to making money is you got to build, real authentic relationships like Scotty was talking about before they can even trust you to open up their wallet. So I was over here having DM messages and talking to people on the phone and doing all the things to build the business. My kids would come in front of me. Hey, mom, blah, blah, blah. Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you go and do this with me? You got to sign this. And so I'd glance at them, do whatever they wanted me to do for like a second, and then I would get right back into talking to other people outside my family to build the business. A couple years into that, I started to notice that my kids weren't coming to me as often with things. And I'm like, that's weird. And then I would notice when I would close my laptop and I was done working that I wanted to go and hang out with them, and they had no interest in hanging out with me. So what I learned from that is, man, you know what? I suck at balance. And so I had to learn how to get better at balancing my personal relationships and my business relationships. And that took me a good couple of years, Stack. It wasn't perfect though. I messed up a lot in this area, but I'm much, 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 much better at the balance of it. And so if I can give you guys any tip at all today during this room, we're talking about maintaining relationships. Well, how can you maintain any kind of relationship, whether it's personal or business, if you're not giving part of your time to your family and then part of your time to your business? If you're giving all of your time to your business, your personal relationships are going to be impacted. If you're giving all your energy to your personal relationships and you're ignoring your business is going to go down the drain. So you really got to learn how to do that balance, create that balance, and be intentional with that balance every single day. It is something that can be learned. It's not something that comes easily to most people, but it is something that is needed if you want both success in your personal and business relationships. So I'm Heather, the Christian sex coach, and I will pass it back over to you, Stack.
Listen, Heather, this is how you maintain those relationships. I love it, right? Maintaining those relationships, right? Always being on time, and that's another thing I want to talk about is being on time for stuff, right? People want to feel like you're reliable, right? And from me being reliable, while we're in this room, I just closed another deal with another company, PSD. Just did another one, right? It's crazy, right? Now I'm going to get 30% off of everything, 30% of everything. It's I don't know. It's just nuts because you never know. Like being on time, being there, right? Just showing up and staying consistent. You can do whatever you guys want to do. You know what I'm saying? You can reach heights. You can reach next levels. You just got to show up and be consistent. Let's get into it. I appreciate that, Heather. I'm just looking at my email right now. I'm about to do this thing, but let's keep sharing the room, pinging this room up, and diving in. How to maintain relationships, being on time, and I love your share, Heather. Let's keep going. Who else is coming in?
Yeah, I think what you're saying is you want to be ready so when the time comes, you don't have to get ready, so you're on time. I wanted to also piggyback on what you mentioned about the phone. I got in sales at 19, and one thing I could say, the top performers, what I see them do and what they have, they always got a phone to their ear. They always are following up with their leads. They're always following up with their network. It's something that I've seen time and time again. And the best of the best, that's what I see them doing. If you're not on the phone, staying connected, doing your follow ups, even maintaining relationships within your network, those things will just fizzle away and you won't be able to move as strongly in your business and in your relationships. So pick up that phone, make sure you're talking to your friends, your family, aside from business. That's another thing. You don't call those people, that's going to whittle away too. So same thing comes into play in your business life. So pick up that phone. Make sure you're sustaining those relationships. That's something I can say for me. I don't do great at when it comes to picking up the phone and maintaining maybe for years on end per se, like I've seen others do. But one thing is for certain, I love that Stack mentioned, was get on that phone. He is always on the phone. He's always checking in on people that he's talked to 6 months ago, someone that he met and stuff. And that's something that I notice, people that are trying to get to a high level or they're performing at a high level, they are making those connections. They're maintaining them by staying on the phones, calling them, emailing, just keeping yourself in front of people. Do that in your business, do that in your personal life, and you'll be able to maintain those relationships.
Amanda, I just wanted to quickly piggyback off what you were saying. Your network is your net worth, and I was struggling. This was when I was younger again. I'm fortunate to learn all these whilst I was young. And I was struggling in my magic business because I was focusing on new customers, new customers, new customers, and I was neglecting who's already booked me and who already I've served. And then I phoned up only 5 of my customers who had booked me previously, and they said, "Oh yeah, David, I've got my friend who's having this event, and I've got my friend who's having that event." So don't overlook your customers because they're easier to sell to again if your product is a repeat product, or even if it's not, it's who they know as well. So never judge a book by its cover. A little quick story on that is I was in a hotel once, I think I've shared this before, and there was a cleaner. I'm always nice to everybody. With me, what you see is what you get, warts and all. And there was a cleaner, and I said, "Oh, thanks very much for cleaning this hotel, because without you, it'd be a s-hole," I said. And she was laughing, and I got chatting to her. And then she was like, "Oh, thanks, I've worked here for 20 years and nobody's ever come up to me and appreciated it." And I said, "Well, I appreciate you because, you know, you're doing a good job." Anyway, fast forward after that, about 2 years on, I was looking for this big client, and I went into his office to do a corporate gig for him. And he said, "Your name rings a bell." And I was like, "Huh?" I've never known him. It's the first time that I've looked at him. And he said, "Yeah, do you remember going into a hotel and you said a nice thing to a cleaner?" And I was like, "How do you know that?" I thought, "Is he some like weird stalk fella?" That cleaner was his auntie, and he owned this multi-million-pound company. And he said, "My auntie raved about you. She said you were so polite. You made their day. So it doesn't matter what you charge, I'll pay it. So whatever you charge, I'll pay it. Doesn't matter. I want to hire you." So never judge a book by its cover, guys. And I just wanted to share that on the back of your share, Amanda. So thanks. Back over to you, Stack.
David, thank you so much. I love that you mentioned that when you said that you were focusing on your new clients. So that's where I realized that too when I was in sales when I was younger. Always going for that new client, and then forgetting about my old clients. And when you see the difference between that top performer and someone that's not, that is your difference. They're talking to their repeat clients. They're getting those easier to close, soft, warm leads from having that it's harder to close someone that is brand new to you, right? So your referrals and stuff, some people after a while they get so good at it, they make their business off of referrals. You know, people are just coming to them. So thank you so much, David, for adding that story in and putting out there that we do want new business, but make sure you stay in touch with the business that you've already accumulated over the years. It will definitely pay off. Those people will bring you people. You'll build that trust and respect, and you'll get rewarded for it.
That's awesome, Amanda and David. That is so true. It's Robert. Yeah, having been a senior vice president of the Pepsi-Cola company for North America, I can tell you right now that it is much easier and it is cheaper to widen your business with an existing customer, to retain and go wider, to build your business through existing customers. You know, unfortunately, the glitz and the glamour and the fireworks seems to come from getting a new customer. You know, and it's always like getting a new account. But actually, it takes more time and it takes more money. So from an acquisition cost standpoint, it's actually much cheaper to build additional business with an existing customer. So you definitely want to be spending time with them, continuing to create to the fact that they become a brand referring you, as you said, Amanda. That is a very, very true point. And I'll jump in also just saying topic. I see it as was already stated in the beginning. Being authentic is very, very important, and being consistent. I believe that Scotty and David and Stack all spoke to that. It's being authentic, being consistent, and being ready, always being there. You know, the fact that they always know that you're available, you know, not 24/7 necessarily, but the fact that if you say something's going to get done, something's going to get done. They know that you're going to respond back to them. They don't have to worry about, you know, I take notes all the time. If I call somebody, I've got a note down and a check mark next to it because I reached out to them. Okay, I hope that people don't necessarily have to do that with me because they know that if I root to them, they don't have to remind themselves about it. They know I'm going to be back in touch and get done whatever they asked. So I think those things are very, very important when it comes to maintaining relationships. And that comes to not just business, but unless it comes to, and I'll add one more thing about social media. Having owned an advertising agency, I always taught my customers social media is like a personal relationship. So if you want to be good at social media, you got to be good at a relationship. And what's the relationship? Being consistent, being there, being present, and being responsive. If you're going to post something on social media and you don't respond to any comments that are made, and you don't ever, you just post and it's just out there, that is actually worse to do than posting nothing at all. People want to engage. If they engage with you, you need back. That's why I've always taught somebody's got to have a social media manager. I always taught, and that's why I got that as an agency. We became people's managers. And we'll talk later about Socialocity, the new automation that we're going to be creating that will allow people to be present, to be consistent, and we're working on it right now, which is why we've not launched it yet, a comment moderation function so that you can moderate the comments from an automation standpoint. So again, maybe you're not that good at the relationship, but now you can be by using a system. So those are that
Robert,
are really
can
important.
you hurry up and
Yes.
launch that, please? Because I'm waiting for that. Hurry up, brother, hurry up.
Dennis,
and
you
just
don't
to
really know what's
and just
a
to add
really
on to what
important
you were
I
saying,
do.
well,
That does sound crazy.
it does. Stacks. I was talking about because we were in another room, me and Robert, and I said, "Oh, can you share anything like Hootsuite and stuff?" And he said, "Well, hold fire, David, before you purchase anything, because we're launching this." And I was like, "I need that in my life right now." And he said, "But we're not launching it yet."
I've
And I
been
was like,
I've
"You
been working on
tease."
this since 6 o'clock Pacific this morning. So we are going after it. The
That's not
development
early enough.
team's
That's not
at
early
it
enough. You
hard.
need to be more hours, more hours.
Well, you know what? I couldn't get it fast. But yeah, we're
Hey,
we're on
Robert,
it. Yeah.
do we need Amanda's premium men's and women's underwear to use the
Get it, get
Socialocity?
it, get it, get it, get it, get it.
I like it. I like it.
Yes, we have Stack's new deal at the top there linked. Everybody take a look.
Yeah, nah, that's the deal that I just closed, Jay,
Love that, Stack.
with
Proud of
that
you, man.
company. So
Proud of you, man.
that's another deal underneath the belt where they're paying me out. So if you guys go shop underneath there, of course I'll
For real,
get
Stack?
residual.
Oh
You know
my
I'm
Yeah,
gonna give me
yeah,
God,
some
that's
it's
drama.
mine.
I'm gonna
amazing.
give me some drama.
Nah, these are mad comfortable, Jay. I always wear these. This is like my favorite. Like, they go right with the lifestyle. So I love it. I just closed this. I just got the email just now. They sent me the creator stuff to get on there to track my, track my portal, track my payments, track everything that I need to do. So that's why I shared the link. I just got this from the email. I just logged in and everything. So this company is actually really big on Instagram and they got a huge following and they work with a lot of different, creators and rappers and all type of stuff in the industry. So this is a really good brand. I love it and I wear it all the time. So tap in, tap the link, and I'm just grateful for working with them and they actually, extended the offer for me to hop on the team. So definitely
and
shout
now
out
they've got
PSD. Let's go.
and now they've got the best. They've got the stack and the pack in the
No,
house.
I'm
Boom.
gonna see how I can
Woo-hoo.
get some custom ones. I'm gonna see like who I can talk to for the designer. I just don't stay in one
Can
place.
we
I
have
so
XP written
yeah, we're
on
gonna
our
have
butts?
XP butts. Everybody's gonna have XP butts. Jay, XP and Stackpack butts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it can go into the kink realm with XP paddles and everything.
Facts, facts.
Ooh-wee.
I appreciate you guys
It'll
for
be like
supporting this.
David. It'll be like XP Angels.
Love
I
it, love
love
it.
that. And shout out to everybody that's been supporting the fragrance too. Everybody that's been going to Tropical Storm by Stack, you guys are actually getting featured in the magazine. So the first people that's been, tapping in, buying the fragrance, supporting, I have already sent the list out of the interview questions for you guys to get featured. So if you go to Tropical Storm by Stack and you support my fragrance that drop, we're actually going to feature you in a magazine and we'll send out the interview questions to you in the email. Make sure you guys send a screenshot to me, hit me in the DM, back channel, and you will get the questions. Let's tap in and let's keep this room rocking. How to maintain relationships, right? Maintaining relationships, following up, seeing how the person's been. It don't always got to be something. I called Jay. Jay. What's Jay?
Yeah,
Tell him,
I
Jay.
was just getting
Jay,
ready to
what?
say that.
Come on, Jay, real quick. Tell him, man. What I do, Jay? I call you. Just what's good, man.
Yep. I mean, Stacker just called out of the blue. I was going to mention that about, are you just touching people that that you really care about, and start there. Like touch people that you care about. Check in. Like Stacker call me up. What's going on, Stack? I'll send him a text. Checking on you. How you doing? That's how you maintain relationships. It's through contact. If you don't have contact, then you don't have longevity. Longevity comes through contact. You got to communicate. And with that being said, don't take a great relationship for granted. Like, in order to make withdrawals, you got to make those deposits. So if you really want to have somebody to pour back into your life, pour into their life. And if you continually have relationships where you do that, you're going to be fulfilled in your social pillar of your life. Y'all know I talk about the 6 pillars of life. The
Break
social
it
pillar
down
is what
real
we're
quick,
talking
Jay.
about
Break it
today.
down.
You know how it is, man. You got 6 pillars to success. If you look at every area of your life, they're going to fall within these 6 pillars. You got your financial pillar, which we focus on quite a bit here because we're entrepreneurs. You got your spiritual pillar, and I'm always challenging folks to, come to your own spiritual beliefs rather than tradition. You got your mental pillar, being strong mentally, making great decisions. You got your emotional pillar. That means you are, here's the key, strong emotion. A lot of people get those two mixed up, mental and emotional. Emotional means you don't get yourself where your feelings are hurt easy because you know who you are emotionally. And then you got that physical pillar where you're not letting your body go to shit. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're getting proper nutrition. Make sure that you're pouring into yourself when it comes to physical. But then here comes that social pillar, which is what this room is about today, which is how do you maintain relationships? Well, that social pillar, what's your communication skills? Are you a person that likes to be reserved? Well, you're not gonna maintain too many good relationships if you're reserved. How many of y'all got those family members when they come around, people could be laughing, cutting up, having a great time, and then there's always that one. They show up and it's like, damn, what happened to the energy in the room? Well, guess what? Let's get them people out of here. So that's what I love about XP, man. We keep great energy around here, pouring into this social pillar. Y'all make sure y'all share out the room. Click on Stacks link at the top. Make sure you get your draws straight. I'm gonna get me some of them draws. Make sure I got some designer draws. Y'all come on with me. Listen, we going in, man. But it's all about these deals. But I believe the Stack gets these deals because he's talking to people. Amanda said it. He's on the phone.
She
He's
know, she
talking.
know,
He ain't
Jay.
afraid to talk. Shit, we gotta talk. Open up your mouth. My granddaddy said you're not gonna make no money being shy. You're not gonna make any impact being shy. You gotta open up your mouth. So I challenge everybody to get more active in here today. Let's invite some more people in the room. Let's share out the room. Make sure you go down and hit that share button. Let's keep it rocking. I'll be
Hey Jay,
Go ahead, have this on you.
what's interesting about what Jay just said, you guys, and I used to use this as an excuse too for not opening up my mouth, Jay, is I used to say, "Man, I'm just an introvert." You know what I've learned about myself, Jay? That word introvert is actually bullshit, I think, because to me, what I've learned is it's not being an introvert. What I have noticed about myself and I've noticed about other people when I brought this up is like, you're not being an introvert when you get into those situations and you're feeling shy and you're feeling insecure and all that. What you're actually worried about is what other people are going to think about you. You're literally fearing judgment, you're fearing losing friends. Like it's that fear that you're leading with. So, if you could figure out what the root cause behind that fear is and heal from that stuff, those triggers will no longer exist and you can learn how to become what people call an extrovert where you just show up and you're like, "Bam, I'm here. Here's what I have to offer." If you don't like it, that's all right. I still love myself. Right, Jay?
You
I
got it.
love
Let's
that
go.
because what she's saying is introvert merely means you're just being selfish. I love that, Heather. Like stop being selfish. Like how you gonna make impact? How you gonna make somebody's life better by you being quiet? No, you gotta talk. Come on. Good
I was
pickup,
gonna
Heather.
say too, Jay. It's like you can't be anti-social. If I see if I can help, because I feel like my business is universal, and if you guys feel like that's important, throw some ones in the chat. My business is universal. I have to talk to so many different people. I don't just stay in one place. I gotta talk to this person. I gotta talk to that person. That's how you get to the next level. You don't want to just stay where you was last year. There's no way I'm going to stay where I was last year. There's not a chance. There's not a chance. Jay, there's not a chance at all. Listen, and you shouldn't want to stay there either, because I wouldn't want to stay there. And you want to know what's good about trying to level up to the different levels and try to get to different people? There's always another door to open. Because when I opened up that door, there was always 5 more to open, right? Oh yeah, I got this deal, but I can get this deal and do this and do that and do. You can do whatever you put your mind to, right? That's the great thing about this journey, because you can always unlock something else, right? You do something, you unlock something. You do something, you unlock something. And that's what I really love. And that's what gives me an adrenaline rush. It's like, what else is there to do? Like, what else can I do? That's a fact. I want to keep going, I want to keep working and keep elevating. And you guys should be doing the same thing. So I'm passing the mic up. Let's keep this rocking. XP mentorship, picking the room up. Let's go.
Yo, Stack, that's what I'm just cycling now. But just what you shared there about don't stop is that some people, when they get that big deal, they take the foot off the gas, and that's when you've really got to keep your foot on the gas. And once again, I've learned that the hard way. But when I was younger, because I got this big deal and then I sat on it because it was custy and it see me have some money in, and then that money went, and then I was like, oh shit, I need to get another deal. So listen to what Stack just said there. When he gets that deal, that's not it. He doesn't take his foot off the gas. He puts his foot further down on the gas, because especially as well, you're in that momentum phase of you're pumped, all your emotions, your vibrational frequency is on the same one to get more in. So just keep pushing through. And life gets hard, but life happens for you, not to you. So things which are hard make you grow stronger. And I think I got this from Brian Tracy. When you're doing deals and stuff, he says some will, some won't. So what? Next. So don't get hung up on the people that don't want your business or your product or your service, because that's okay. You're just more no's away from the yes. So never forget that, guys. And I'm enjoying this lovely little dusk cycle, man. It's back over to you, brother.
Look, man, I appreciate you, man. We in the building. Ping the room up, share the room up. Make sure you guys are visiting stackpackmedia.com as well to shop Tropical Storm by Stack. Everyone that gets a fragrance, I told you guys you get a magazine feature. Make sure you guys tap in and see the other articles and the medias I have coming out, you know, with the brand, with XP Mentorship, the podcast, right? There's a lot going on. Also, click this link at the top if you guys, you know, want the men or women's underwear and activewear. Fire, fire, fire. I've been messing with this brand for a long time, really trust, known, and like. Go search them on Instagram as well. They have a huge following and they reach a lot of different people. So I love being a part of this team, and we just closed this deal less than 30 minutes ago to show you guys that we're active, we're still working, and click the link. You know, I can't wait to see you guys supporting, can't wait to see you guys getting leveled up. It's all about maintaining relationships today. So if you guys are just joining XP Mentor, we're talking about how to maintain them in business and life. And, you know, I'm showing improving it right now, right? I follow up, I reach out, you know, you get offered different things and opportunities as you show up and stay consistent. So if I was you, I'll put that pedal to the metal. Keep going. Don't let nobody tell you it's not possible. Anything's possible. Keep going, right? Let's ping the room up. Let's share the room up. Let's have some more people share on how to maintain these relationships in business and life in general. You know, grateful. That's what the room's called, right? Let's get it in. Who's coming in? Who wants to take the mic next? Who wants to share? Let's go. Cynthia, turn
Hi.
it up. What we doing? Big stat. Let's go. Let go.
Hey, this is Cynthia. I've missed some of it, but I know it's been good. How to maintain relationships in business and life. Um, The first thing that comes to mind is when I was in the military, and I had to learn how to work with different people, different walks of life, different ranks, different country, all sorts of things. I worked with the Brits. I worked with people from Turkey, every kind of which way but loose, and black, white, all types of people. And one thing I really learned to do that no matter who you were, where you came from, what your job was, what level of clearance you had. I had a clearance also. You know, some people like to throw those things, their weight around. But one thing I learned to do, and I learned to do this and I still do this, is I learned to respect people in their lane. And I used to, my job was ammunition, so I'd be ammo supply. And so even if I was below a E5 and you had officers that come in and needed to get ammo or rations or whatever from me, if it was my point, I ran the point, no matter what my rank was. And if they didn't like it, I had an officer to go to, and it was people over me. And some people tried to pull rank, but what I said went. And if I was wrong, I got checked for it. But if they were wrong, they also got checked for it. So I think it's very important to respect people in their lane. I don't know what Stack knows. So that's why I invest in what Stack knows. He's put the time in. I don't know what Jay knows. I don't know what Robert knows. I don't know what Scott knows. And I love to hear Scott talk. I don't know what Shantae knows. And I have a fur baby now. I respect everybody in their lane because I look at it this way. I used to be quiet about what I've gone through, but I know I learned this, that in life, when my face was in the dirt, nobody else's face was there but mine. So it's kind of a be damned if you do and be damned if you don't. So once I had the strength to get up and clean my face off, I'm like, oh well. And I realized if I was going through it, somebody else had to go through it. So if I was chosen to be the one to lead the pack in my lane and tell somebody, how do you clean the dirt off your face? You want to use oil of Olay, you want to use Camay, you want to use whatever. This is how you do it. And I've accepted that over my life. If I'm still here, God gave me a purpose, then it's time for me to open up my mouth. And so that's what I've been doing. So I don't care. I was going to say, I don't give a happy whatever what anybody else thinks about me, my story, my journey, the boots I've had to wear and how hard I've had to stomp in them and what I had to stomp on to get to where I am today. I'm going to open up my mouth. I'm going to use my pain to help someone else to get to power in their purpose. I don't give a happy flip. I've made that and I've made up my mind, and that doesn't change. That's not going to change anything. Closed mouths don't get fed. They do not get fed. And so I'm learning that to be an expert in my lane. And I say lane, and you know what I mean, your purpose, your whatever, be it underwear, wine, cologne, perfume, detox tabs,
Underwear,
that
everything in the world.
everything in the world. It don't matter. If that's your lane, then you stomp down and let people know I got this. And you have to demand that respect because you got up. Stack got up. He figured out. Jay figured it out. And so in life and in business, if you can't respect people where they are and their life experiences, you'll never get anywhere. You only get what you respect. You only get what you understand. You can't have something you don't respect. It goes down to respect, and I'm sure somebody said that. But learning to respect people in their lane, respect their medals, their wounds, their whatever, and salute them. And you keep it moving. If you want to be in their lane or be better, then learn what they learned and do what they did. And then you gain that respect. And so I learned that. And that carries you a long way. Respect carries you so far. Even people that didn't like me, they hated me. Every detail that came along, I was the first name they hollered out. I had went ahead and volunteered for it, but it wasn't going to last forever. They didn't like me, but they had to respect me. And I can roll with that at the end of the day. So that carries you very far. Stack, congratulations on your latest endeavor. You deserve it. You've earned it. And I'm going to have to check that out. So again, thank you for all that you do. And everybody up there, I respect you in your lane. And my name is Cynthia, and I'm done speaking for now.
Let's go. Cynthia coming in hot. That's what it's about. In your lane, right? That's where you got to cruise, right? When you in your lane, you just cruising, you just doing your thing in your lane. And if you guys agreeing with everything Cynthia said, throw some ones in the chat real quick. Because staying in your lane is just cruising, getting things done, making sure the people that need the help and want to take it serious get the help, right? Get across. You be in contact with those people, right? Make sure you guys are clicking the link at the top and joining the XP Mentor House as well. If you guys are not a part of the house, because we're gonna be having more conversations like this, diving in deep, how to maintain relationships in business. Let's keep going. I want to hear from some more individuals. Thank you for that, Cynthia. The mic is still open. Let's go.
Hi, this is hi everybody. Thank you so
Joy,
much for inviting me to the
how you
stage.
how you
Yes,
liking the
yes.
title, Joy? Joy,
Joy.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And let me tell you why I love it. I love the title because it didn't just say maintain relationships in business. It said in business and life. and being grateful. I love the heart with the grateful, because here it is. That's one of the biggest ways. You put it in the title. What's one of the biggest ways to maintain relationship? Gratefulness. You can't have a good relationship and complain to that person all the time about what they did or what they didn't do or what they. You can't have any healthy relationship without being grateful. That's it at its core. We have to value people and we have to have good time management. I schedule time with my grandmama. I mean, I put it in my calendar. You know what I'm saying? I schedule. We have to make sure that we're everything that we're doing, we're valuing the people. And that's somebody said something about time. I can't stand when somebody don't value my time, and I know everybody on here feels the same way. We have to value a person's time. When somebody, I had somebody in my life that used to come late to everything, and they wanted me to hold everything up until they got there. And I was like, look, I love you. I love you to the core of you. But let me just say this. I can't respect others. I can't respect you over others. And that what she just said, respect. It's a disrespect to somebody for me to wait for you to get here and arrive, and you didn't value what was happening right now enough to actually get here on time. No, that's not fair. We gotta love. We gotta love. Lead with love. Be grateful.
Lead
Value
with
each
love.
other.
Why'd you say that, Joy? Expand on that. You think you're slick. Lead with
What? What?
love.
What?
Come on, talk to me. Lead with love. Why'd you say that?
lead,
Let's pull that out a little
Hmm.
bit. Lead with love. What's up? Talk to me.
lead with love. I mean, it's a loving act to consider somebody, right? I mean, just think about the example that I just gave up, as far as I'm waiting for you to get here. Forget all the other people. So I can't love on them enough to say, hey, I respect your time. I love the fact that you came here and you value what was happening right now. It's not a loving act for me to disrespect their time. They got somewhere else to go. You know what I'm saying? That's love. Love is respecting the fact that you did this. I love you enough to even in your wrong. You know what I'm saying? I love you enough to share with you, when you're wrong, so that you can come higher. Love doesn't feel good all the time. Love is an action word. It ain't just let me just tell you, kiss on you. I gotta, hurt your feeling, cut you a little bit sometime, just love. I love you enough to help you to be your best. And I've been cut sometimes with some of the stuff that people have told me. I love you enough to value are in life, you know what I mean, and value where you are. I value you where you are. I still love you. I don't not love you because you didn't come on time. I'm gonna hug on you. I'm gonna kiss on you. I'm saying I'm gonna take your gift if you gave one. Hallelujah. But at the same time, like I gotta love you enough to even share with you who you are and how you can be better. You know what I'm saying? So I love you. That's it. And I ain't gonna cut you out to tell you what's wrong with what's going on with you. That, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all talked about that earlier. I can lead with love. I can, what was it? Agreeable. I love that. That was we can disagree agreeably. I love that. So that's to me, that's love. Love. Let's love each other.
What's
Lead with
amazing too, Joy, is like
Pull that out, Heather.
that you're also turning back the love inward, because in order for you to love other people, in order for us to love other people, we have to love ourselves first.
Come on, Heather.
And so you loving yourself enough to create that boundary with those people that are not respecting you and your time. That's huge when we're building relationships in business and personally, is that we are establishing our healthy boundaries. We're letting people know what our healthy boundaries are. And if they overstep, we are leading with those boundaries. No emotions. This is me fully. And if you don't respect it, too bad. But I'm
You
loving
know,
myself in this moment to
come on.
continue with my boundary. So
Come
I
on.
love that, Joy.
Wait, hold on, Heather. I'm gonna piggyback on what you just said, because one of the things that I have to often tell myself and others as well. I'm a Christian, so I'm gonna leave with that. But here's the thing: the Bible tells us to love others as ourselves, right? As ourselves. That means I gotta love me first, and then I can love you. I can't love you without knowing what love looks like on me. Sometimes I'm at the movies by myself. Sometimes I'm going out by myself. Why? Because I love me. I like my presence. I like my laugh. I like the way I do things. You know what I'm saying? I gotta love me, and then I can love you. Then it's infectious. Come on, y'all. We in this room.
I think that
Woo!
something both ladies said, it was very powerful, and I'm just thinking, uh, is it's like, something she said. I think when you love a person enough to correct them, that is one of the greatest gifts of love that you can give. You love me enough
Yeah, yeah,
on whatever level, be it business, friend, personal, lover, side chick, whatever you want to call, whatever role you play in life and other people's life. Love me enough to correct me, because God corrects us. He corrects us. He loves us, but he still corrects us. But we do our children that way, because if you just let a child just run rampant and do whatever and you never correct them, the end is going to be disastrous. It is going to be disastrous. So if in any business relation, any business, wherever, if you love a person enough, you'll love them enough to correct them, because you want better for them.
yeah,
You want them to do better, be better, and you don't want to spread that poisonous, that transference anywhere. And I think, and you look at, and I would never believe when we used to get spanking or whatever, and my mom used to say, "This is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you." I know that was just a lie, because I didn't see her crying at the end. I never understood that. I'm like, she got to be kidding me right now. This is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. Okay, well, I'm not feeling that right now, and we don't see that when we're small and we're young, or we get the keys taken to the car, or whatever the case may be. But
hmm
eventually we grow, as we grow and mature, we see that. So love someone enough to correct them. And that goes with respect too. And all of that is wrapped up in there together, and in a big beautiful bow. And my name is Cynthia, and I'm done speaking.
And Joy, sorry guys, I'm gonna unmute because I'm in a bad place, but I'll add on to what you were saying about time, Joy, in a bit. But I've got loads of cars driving past, so.
I couldn't understand. Were you talking to
Yeah,
me,
yeah, I was,
David?
Joy. I was just saying, I'm cycling on a busy road, so I hope you can hear me. But just coming back to what you were saying about the time thing as well, about the respect, is that it only takes a second just to phone somebody and just say, listen, can we reschedule the, because when you're going to be late, you're going to be late. So if you do that, then that person and that relationship doesn't get tarnished. Because how many of us have arranged a meeting, be it business, be it with family members, and then they let you down last minute, and it just taints that relationship. So my dad used to say to me, son, always be 15 minutes minimum early for any event, because I used to be late for everything, and he say you'd be late for your
Show
funeral
up
one day.
early, David.
Oh, early, sorry. Oh, yeah, sorry, you meant early. Yeah, always be early. 15 minutes early, not late, sorry. 15 minutes early for any event, because he said I'd be late for my own funeral, because I used to get things lastminute.com. And it's just a common courtesy. And then you've gained that relationship, and it also gives you more respect to that client, because they thought rather than you leaving it last minute, you've actually said, and they might be able to then sort their diary out and bring another client forward. So just wanted to add that on.
I
Early
love
is
that.
on time, right,
Real,
Shaq?
real
Early is on
quick.
time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you show up early, it shows a lot about your character. Put some ones in the chat if you guys agree. If somebody shows up late, somebody shows up off, it throws off the energy, it throws off the vibe, it throws off the seriousness that people are gonna, right? That's why I like to over deliver and be early. I'm already here on the Zoom. Ask Jay. I'm already here, I'm already early, I'm already on there, I'm already ready to work, I'm already ready to deep. Right? You need to be ready so you don't have to, right? Blow up the chat if you guys agree with that too. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That's how you maintain a lot of things, relationships, business, life, staying ready, right? Being prepared, right? Having a game plan at the end of the day. So showing up early, I love that share, David, because if you guys show up early, you'll get a lot of opportunities. I'm an early adapter of a lot of different programs, a lot of different things that are running right now, right? And it may not look like anything right now. It may be, planting a seed at one company or planting a seed over there. But guess what? I know that shit's gonna boom, right? And look, this deal just came through, PSD, right? we we already got it in motion right now. Let's go shop PSD, go crazy, right? Big stack. The deal just closed. Let's go. Ping the room up. Share the room up. Let go.
Stack, I love you, mate, and I love your energy. And prime example of what you were saying was Clubhouse. Us early adapters who were on this platform for 2 years ago, we experienced it when it was good, and when, it still is good now, but, the good old days when there was like hundreds of thousands of people in the room, which was a little bit too busy, but when you're an early adopter of anything, then you reap the rewards. So just want to add that on. Stack, love your room, love your energy, and love everybody in here.
Yeah, man. I was an early adapter with the fragrance, man. They didn't even have their dashboard together, Jay. I was already an early adapter, bro. They just paid me like a couple days ago. You see what I mean by being down early? I got paid extra on top of that because I was chilling and waiting. I wasn't thirsty for no money. I was just promoting, doing my thing, and helping others. I wasn't thirsty. I was just chilling. It's gonna come. It's gonna drop, right? And they ended up dropping that right in my account, right on time, right when I didn't expect it, right? Being an early adopter, David, that's why I said I was already on it, bro. I was in there, I already knew the potential of this. We're gonna maximize this shit. We're gonna automate it. We're gonna make sure more people understand fragrance and what's in it and the ingredients and all type of shit, right? I'm going in. When I do something, I'm gonna maximize it. And that's what you guys do. Maximize it, be an early adapter. Cause that's what I said. It may not look like anything right then. You may be just planting a seed, right? I was planting a seed with Tropical Storm by Stack. Brand new. Shit took off quick. And that's what it's about. Having that energy, having that belief, right? Believing, having the faith. And if you guys agree with that, throw some fire emojis in the chat. Before I toss this mic up, believing, having the faith. Let's talk about that real quick. Because a lot of people lack that, right? Especially coming up as an entrepreneur. I even lack that, like sometimes, right? Didn't know, oh man, is it gonna work out? No, you gotta believe in it. You gotta put the pedal to the metal. Just because you get one success doesn't mean you can't unlock another door. Just because you unlock one thing doesn't mean you can't unlock something else. So keep unlocking, keep doing more. If you feel like you're not more valuable, do more shit. Team up with more companies. You know what I mean? Represent more, do more, right? Get out there, shake hands, go to events, fly out, right? Do more. That's a fact, man. I'm tossing this mic up, big stack. I'm coming in hot again. I'm giving 15, 20 minutes. Tossing the mic up. Who's coming in next? Let's go.
Hey everyone. Hey Stack, it's Lacey. How you
Lacey,
doing?
how you feeling? How you feeling about the title in the room? How you doing today?
I'm feeling great about the title. In fact, I wrote a couple of things down to make sure I don't interrupt anyone else when he or she speaks, and I think they're great value adds. I'll just be brief. The first
Nah, we
thing
want you to
is
be long,
I heard
Lacey. We don't want you to be brief. We want you to be long.
I don't do long. No, I mean, I don't talk long, but it's okay. Thank you for welcoming that. So, for those who don't know me, my name is Lisi, Chef Lisi on Clubhouse and, in the world. I am a property manager and a chef. I manage assets and I have a business called Baby with the Plates. We are located in Northern California. I'm doing my first crowdfunding effort to open a physical location. We've been in business 3 years and I hate loans. You can find me on Clubhouse in government contracting with shrimp and grits. That is a room that is my room. I have a
Man, you
house.
gonna make me hungry, Lacey. You gonna make me hungry.
Please give me a follow. Follow my Instagram if you feel inclined. And Stack is okay with me asking you this.
Do
Go
what you.
ahead
This
and
is your
donate.
stage, Lacey. You better rock it.
Go ahead and donate to the crowd fund. One of my what I wrote down. The first thing is people may remember what you said. They may forget what you said, but they never forget how you made them feel. So I believe number one would be energy. And my answer to how to maintain relationships in business and life, grateful would be smile. I know that sounds so simple, but smile. Like you could really make somebody's day if you just smile and you say hi, and that person may never forget you because of that. And also, the second thing is instead of asking, gimme, 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 approaching with the hands out, how can I help? I believe collaboration over competition is is a big deal. So smile and how can I help? How can we help each other? I've met a lot of amazing people on Clubhouse. I've applied a lot of knowledge. I've sat in rooms for over a year and said absolutely nothing. Excuse me. And then I made my way to stages after taking action. And I just want to encourage anybody who is afraid to take action or, is hesitant because someone else is doing it. Don't be afraid because there are often where you go to a park and shop, you might see a McDonald's, but there's also a Burger King, and there's also a Chick-fil-A, and there's also, a Dunkin' Donuts, and there's Target, there's Walmart. So even though somebody else might be doing what you're doing, it doesn't mean that that should stop you from doing it, because I believe that God will order our steps if we ask him and we believe. You have not because you ask not. So don't be quiet.
Lisi, say that again. Say that. If you guys agree, throw some ones in the chat, cause Lisi about to wake it up right now. She about to burn the stage up. Say that one more time, please.
You have not because you ask not. So don't be afraid, and be brave and be bold, and just remember that you know all things work together for good for those who love the Lord and have been called according to his purpose. So go with your gut instinct. If something says take the leap, take the leap. Just make sure you get that financial literacy information behind you, and align with friends and tell people about what you're doing. And when you meet people, ask that person how they got started. Get next to people who are smarter than you, more successful than you, just a level up, because surrounding yourself with those people is always going to keep you in the winning circle. And I land. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Zach.
Look, she's going in right now. You have not because you didn't ask not. It's okay to ask. That's why I love when Jay said, man, don't be afraid to put your name on the bag. Stop. Don't be afraid. Ask. Get it. Get out there. Add some value to the situation. If you're not at the table, you're on the menu. I say that all the time. Add some value. If you feel like you're not more valuable, do more things. Add more value. See what the person needs. See how you can be in complementary to the business. Thank you for that share. I appreciate that, Chef Lisa. Make sure you guys are tapping in. She made me hungry. She make me want some food right now. She's going to eat.
She'll come over and cook for you, Stack.
Yeah, we need a personal chef.
Just ask
Yeah,
ask for what you want, and she'll make you
me
happy.
and Amanda need a personal chef. So yeah.
You know what I love about what she said is don't be afraid to be yourself. And because she shared a biblical principle, I'll also share a biblical principle back, which is Psalms 139, which talks about how we're all unique. God literally on purpose made you exactly the way that you are. He knit you together in your mother's womb. So what that means is, even if someone else out here in the world is doing what you are called to do, you can only do it in your unique way. And we need your unique way and perspective and thoughts and story behind the why of what you're doing. So please open up your mouth, come onto stage. Let's hear what everyone has to say.
Heather,
And
you know what I like about what you said, because
what's
somebody
up,
could
Stack?
be like not helping someone else move to the next level.
Exactly.
When you talk up, when you speak up, you can help someone else get to the next level. You know how many times I've spoke up and I've said something for somebody else and to help their situation, right? All you got to do is say something, and it costs you $0 to say something. Say you need help. Say you need help on social media. Say you need this. Say you need. All the access is here. All the resources here, down to Digably, XP Mentorship, and Stackpack Media, and billboards in Times Square, and right in your backyard. It's up to you to talk up. It's up to you to say, hey, I need help with that, or how can I get guided on that, right? So Heather's absolutely right. You could be blocking someone else from not wanting to talk up. If you speak, right? Listen, if you join XP, look, Jay just put the link up. If you guys join the community, this is what it's about, the community. You join the community and you see how others share, it's going to motivate you to share. It's gonna motivate you to want to get a deal or close a deal like how I'm doing, or close a deal like how Jay. We want to get to it. Put your name on it. Don't be afraid to ask for the bag. That's how people get to not get to the next level. They're afraid or they don't want to talk up. It's okay to talk up. That's how you get the resources. That's how you get the connections. That's how you get to where you need to go, and that's how you get guided. The universe will guide you when you just ask. You have not because you ask not. Chef Lisi. Over to you, Heather. Rock this out. Who else is coming in? Let's get it.
Dak, I think and I'm gonna shut up after I say this. I think it's important that we serve before we ask. Oftentimes, I've known people that will pop out of nowhere and they'll ask you for different things. Will you do this for me? Will you do that for me? Will you support this or this? And oftentimes we don't serve before we ask. So when it comes back around and you have to ask someone, they're going to remember that we give freely of our time and of ourselves. And I don't think we do that enough. And somebody had a mentor of mine that writing books with an anthology, and that was something she always said: serve before you ask. And so and I think that right there, Stack, creates that would could go, with our title, how to maintain relationships in business and life, and to serve before you ask. So that way, when people come to you and they need something, people don't hesitate because they remember that. So I know that that's something that is big with me. People will pop out of nowhere, and people do that. They do it all the time. So, but and I think that goes well in the business world and in relationships. And I'll stop right there.
It's all about adding value, right? Cynthia Jay talks about that all the time, man. And Jay, by the way, I miss your clapper lives. I'm hoping that we get back to that pretty soon with XP Mentor
We might
because,
crank one up tonight, Heather. We might
oh
crank
my
one up tonight.
God. You know
We
what?
might
Yes,
have to
I'm
crank
there. I
one
love
up
clapper.
tonight, Heather.
But what I
What
used
we
to
doing,
love
Jay?
about Jay about Jay's
Let's go. Hey,
clapper,
it's the most monetized platform
come
still.
on,
Period.
Jay.
I'm going
Come
going
on.
hard on it.
Please come back to Clapper. Yeah, what I loved about your lives is you were always adding value. And when you brought someone else up onto stage, you asked them, what value are you bringing that no one else is bringing? And that's what we have to do. We have to learn how to add value in our special, unique way that only we can bring. And yeah, then that's when, like Cynthia's talking about, then that's when those messages, out of the blue messages, but really they're not out of the blue, right, Jay? They've been watching us. They've been watching the value that we've been adding, and they're building that sense of trust because we've given so much of ourself and our experience. And now this message is coming through that they're ready. So you have to show up to add value every day. I love that, Cynthia, so much. Thanks for that share.
Look, Cynthia coming in hot. I need y'all to keep coming in hot, right? Ping the room up, share the room up, and if you know someone that wants to talk about this topic on how to maintain relationships in business and life, man, let's get it in. Let's stay grateful. I want to hear from everybody. Let's keep having more people come to the stage, more people share the room out, and ping the room out because it's about to be a fire ass conversation. We've been going in already. Let's keep going in. Who else wants to take the mic? Popcorn style for now. Let's go.
All right, thanks.
I just want to piggyback
Uh
on
oh.
what
I see
what
Joy
Cynthia
then
said.
high. What we gonna do? What we doing?
Oh, go ahead.
Go
Hi,
ahead, Joy. Go ahead.
you go ahead. Okay, thank you. I just wanted to piggyback on what Heather and Cynthia said. As far as the serving, I can't tell you how many times opportunities have happened just because I went into the room not with expectation of what I can get from the room in the sense of, I know this person can help me to further my career or whatsoever, but just wanting to serve. And that act of service goes into the lives. It's what she just said, like, it's so powerful. I think that's probably one of the most powerful things we could say on here. If we come to serve, you come to serve your clients. We come to serve the people that we're connected to, and the service starts at home. And if we serve the people that are in our households, then it winds up being infectious because then they have the idea and they can see and learn, especially with the generations to follow, what service looks like. And just to talk about what Heather said as well, Heather, I want to say you are absolutely right. You have to not be afraid to dish out and do things as far as your particular way of doing it. Because when I tell you, I have heard different sex coaches and different people do different things. But when I tell you, when I went into your room and you told me that you're the one who initiates and all that stuff, I was just like, oh my gosh, it's my girl, it's my person.
Let's
This
go.
this is my person. So we definitely have to do it in our own unique ways and not be afraid. So that's serving and being you, your authentic you, the good, bad, and the ugly, and, growing in areas where we are ugly and not being afraid to grow. I think that that's so powerful. I didn't say what I do. I am in media. You guys come on and follow me as well because, yeah, I'm helping us to remember what our children are, and they are royalty. Love y'all, and that's all I have to say for now.
Joy, you need to be connected with Stack. He's in media too. You guys should collaborate somehow.
All right, Stack, let's do it.
Let's go. Look, Joy, make sure you go to bookwithstack.com and then get on the calendar so that way we can talk this week so we can see how we can, align in business and being complimentary. That would be fire. Let's do it.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Look, who else is coming in hot? How to maintain relationships in business and life. If you guys are just joining, we've been going in. We've been talking about the media. We've been talking about people in relationships, the goals, what's going. Listen, let's keep going in. Let's keep hearing from individuals. Who's snatching the mic next? Who's coming in next? I want to hear from everybody. Let's go.
Hey, hey, everyone! I'll definitely join in. Um, you know,
Come on, Ha. What you
for
doing?
hey, for business relationships and personal relationships, one thing I have to say is, be honest and be transparent. I know it's easy to say, right? It's easy to say to be honest and be transparent. But what I mean in business is when you get into certain situations and what I do, right? If I had a deal that was a holistic project, a holistic resort project, right? And it was a $1.5 billion deal. My expectations to her when we talked, it was like, we can get it funded in 6 months, right? But you know what happened? Omicron happened, and here's my attorney going to London talking with my clients. And he had to stay in his room for like a week, and then you have certain clients that weren't even allowed to come in to London. So things got a little crazy, right? But what happened? I missed my deadline to her, right? Do you know how hard it is when a client paid you $350,000 and you miss a deadline? And now I have to go and tell her the truth. Like, how do I deal with it? At that time, I was at the beginning of my career. I'm like, man, how do I deal with this? What do I do? So, you know what? I said, fuck it. I'm just going to tell her the truth. So I just had a conversation with her. We had a 4-way call, told her exactly what happened. I know this missed a deadline. However, I know this is going to get done. Just, I'll be patient, but, I understand whatever you want to do. I was ready to give the $375,000 back. But you know what she said to me? She said, you know what, huh? That's okay. We know what's going on. We trust you. We trust you. We know that you can bring the money in. So we're not going anywhere. Take your time and do what you need to do. That's what I mean when it comes to business. When things don't go as planned on your end and your people and things got a little dirty, whatever it is, choose doing the right things and tell the truth. Because I'm going to tell you this, if they were the right client, they would understand, right? And if they were the wrong clients, you need to let it go anyways, right? Because $1.5 billion, not too many people have. And she doesn't have that much of an option to say, but at the same time, I know a lot of times when it comes to business, when our back is against the wall and we always make the wrong choices, right? And that's when the deals get dirty, the deals go sour, and that's when relationships break. And I say this is so important. Even your personal relationships, be honest, be upfront. The answer might not be what they like. It might be a little bit dirty and grimy, but you know what? It's the truth. I could. Here's the thing. I could lie, but I thought you prefer to tell me the truth, and how they take it is up to them. But no matter what it is, always, always, always never let people push you to the wrong ends, the sour ends, to the far left. Speak the truth. That's it. Back up to you.
That's powerful, huh?
Come
And plus,
on, Ha.
those lies are gonna catch up with you anyway. So what's the point, man? I mean, it's gonna catch up to you, right, huh? It's like you might as well just tell the truth. I think people appreciate it, because guess what? Stuff comes up in their life too, and you're giving them permission to be honest when you're honest. So we're teaching people how we want to be treated by coming out here with a positive, healthy way that we treat people. We're training other people how to treat us, how to treat others. It's amazing, huh? I love your share.
I feel like I have a terrible memory. Hey, this is Monica, and I can barely remember what really happened. I could not keep up with
Manila, let's
lies.
go.
I can't keep up with lies for shit. Is the room recorded? Oh shit, replays are on. I'll watch my language, but I cannot remember the truth, let alone lies.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, like especially in business, people know when you're lying. You know, I've worked with certain people and, you know, they know I'm very honest and they'll vent to me maybe about someone else we're working with and they are not so honest, but they think nobody realizes it. So you know, there's truth to what Haas said. Be authentic, be honest, and do not lie. Even if it's going to make you look kind of stupid, you will get respected more for that because people notice when you're lying and you think no one notices, especially if you've been in business long enough. You know the things that can come up, and if someone is honest and truthful, you'll like 100% respect them. You'll be able to maybe empathize, or the customer that you're working with will be able to empathize with you more. But when you lie to them, forget it. Your credibility is shot, it ruins your reputation. Do not lie. I love that.
I think to piggyback off on that, definitely for me, something that has been a game changer in my personal relationships and obviously translates also into my business relationships is not being afraid to be honest, not being afraid to be vulnerable, not being afraid, and I'm sorry, this is maybe gonna sound like too emotional, but not being afraid to love other people, and to love them for who they are. There's a book I'm reading, and I can recommend it to absolutely anyone, and it will help so many people as I find so many people that, you know, have so much success in other parts of their life, but in their personal relationships, oh my gosh, how we've all struggled with that. So the book is called Attached, and it talks about the different attachment styles. So it goes back to your childhood, and we all know how that goes. But it's very good because it really shows you like, oh my gosh, do I tend to push people away? Do I tend to be really anxious with people, or do I tend to be more secure? Be more open about my communication, be more open about how I'm feeling, be more open about wanting to feel safe and helping other people to feel safe. One of the things that I've noticed is that people will kind of like match your energy, and that's so weird that's so weird, right? But think about it like this: if you're calm, cool, and collective in a very high risk, in a very anxious kind of situation, other people, if they see you calm, they will reciprocate that. um and so I think that more than anything, not being afraid to heal yourself first, and to heal like your heart and your own personal relationships, excuse me, into your own personal like situations and traumas and things, to be able to be of service to other people, you need to be a full cup. And so I think that's really kind of where it starts. And then obviously people will be attracted to that, and you'll be able to bring in more business, but you'll be also satisfied, because not only should you have success in your business and, you know, in your career, but you should also have personal success in your personal relationships. So that's just a little tidbit.
Come on, she's coming in hot. If you guys agree, throw some ones in the chat, right? Mate, that's why I said that self work. It starts with you first. If you guys agree, blow the goddamn chat up. It starts with you, right? No one can fix you but you. It starts with you first. All I have is self work, right? Work on yourself. Be right with yourself before you get involved with anything. But maintaining it, simple follow up, simple communication. It could be a simple pick up the phone or a simple text. Jay was in here earlier. He told y'all. I call Jay all the time. Yo, Jay, what's good, man? What we doing? What's the move? Right? I get that good energy, positive vibes, right? Energy, the vibes never lie. Blow the damn chat up. Y'all know what it is. And if you guys are just now joining, we're talking about how to maintain relationships in business and life. Grateful, right? Click the link at the top. Make sure you guys are clicking the links at the chat. Shout out to PSD, closing big deal today. Shout out to everything we got going on, from the fragrance down to the partnerships, down to the media, down to the, man, we taking over, right? Stackpack Media. Let's get it. The floor is open. I want to hear
Hey,
from more
Stack, was
people.
that
Let go.
Adelisa's first time talking? Because I'm looking at your profile, Adelisa. 6 people are her followers so far, and she just joined Clubhouse. Do you know how long it took me, Stack, to unmic the
I,
first
I,
time?
I ain't gonna
That
lie
was an
with you,
incredible
Heather.
share for
Mike,
being
the first day I realized you can reach a lot of people. I wasn't
right. That
afraid.
was amazing, though. She did
Yeah.
really great for. I don't know if that was her first time sharing on a stage, but man, that was powerful for being so new to Clubhouse. I'm real proud of her.
I'm
Thank
proud of you
you.
too.
Yeah, no, I was looking at the meme. I was like, wait, how does this work? It is a little complicated on Clubhouse, but again, like if you want something, I don't care. You'll go get it. You'll figure out a way. I've really learned that. You will figure out a way. But thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Now you will figure out a way because I remember feeling like kind of nervous, but I overcame that. Like I overcame the fear, and you know what? I stayed motivated. And speaking of staying motivated, yo Nick, you here, bro? Let's talk about staying motivated, right? How to maintain relationship. I feel like staying motivated is a key factor. If you guys agree, throw some goddamn ones in the chat before I go to Nick. So I want him to talk about motivation, elevation, you know what I mean? Keeping yourself separated, keeping separate, you know what I'm saying? Staying in your lane, keeping it fire, right? Motivate. Yo, Nick, you there, bro? Over to you. Let's get it in, man. Motivation, OTM. Let's get it in.
Stack, I appreciate you, my man. You know what's crazy? Once you said the word motivated, I'm like, I feel like you about to come to me, man. You know exactly what it's all about, brother. I appreciate that, man. Hope you're doing good. Peace and love to the space. Happy, I was about to say
Man,
Wednesday,
I
but
said happy
happy
Monday
Tuesday.
in Lindsay's room, Nick, early. I'm like, it's a Monday. It's Money Monday.
Man, listen, Stack, but you know what's crazy about that? When you on go mode all the time, sometimes you just forget. Not because you want to, but because sometimes it just happens. It's part of life. When you on go mode, when you grinding, when you making a legacy for
And Nick
yourself,
knows,
and you
cause
just
Nick knows
focus.
me. Nick, we met, bro. That's the difference, bro. It's different, bro. You feel me? It's different.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man. And you know what? One thing I learned when it comes to business, right? Business, life, relationships, being grateful, practicing gratitude. You got to be authentic. You got to stand on every word you say and mean what you say. Because some people just pillow talk, right? What I mean by pillow talk is sometimes people just say things without actually believing what they're saying. You have to believe in the words that come out of your mouth. You have to believe in who you are as an individual. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe in the words that come out of your mouth, you can't expect somebody else to do that for you. That's something I had to learn the hard way. Because anytime I put myself out there, anytime I started myself from the ground up, from rock bottom, from zero, nobody's going to support you like you support yourself. You got to stop begging for support. That's something that was hard for me to understand because people will not support you, especially if you don't support yourself. They will not love and care and attend to your needs if you're not doing that for yourself. You are the biggest beacon of light, the biggest vessel, the biggest work in progress. You got to believe in yourself wholeheartedly, humbly, and authentically. Because if you're not, you're going to burn a lot of bridges. You're going to block a lot of potential blessings. And you're going to keep yourself stagnant in the same place that you were 3, 6, 9, 12 months ago, wondering why things are not getting better for you. It all starts with your mindset. If your heart's pure and your intentions are pure, you will attract the right tribe, the right blessings, the right opportunities. But some people are not right in their heart and spirit and expect all these great things to come their way. If you are not right within yourself, you are never going to attract all these things that you claim, that you pray for, that you wish for, you ask for. You're going to be wondering why you're still stuck. And that's why a lot of people just kill their dreams because they don't understand why things are not working for them. But if you're not right with God, if you're not right with any higher power that you believe in, I'm right with the Almighty God. God kept me afloat. God got me out of all my darkest hours, all my chaos, all my uncertainty, and He kept my mind afloat in times when I feel like I was about to give up, when I thought everything was about to crawl and crumble beneath my feet. I knew that there was better to come. As long as I shifted my mindset and my vocabulary into a positive direction and a positive light, I knew that things would get better for me. But the reason why a lot of people give up on their dreams is not because others doubt them. It's not because others say it won't work. It's because you don't believe in yourself full enough. It sounds like you believe in yourself. You say that you believe in yourself, but in your heart, in your spirit, in your mind, they're not all in tune together. You can't leave one out. They all got to be in sync. If they're not in sync, you are doing yourself the biggest disservice. You have to be in alignment with the things that you want in your life. Frequency, wavelength, alignment. We talk about that all the time, Stack. If you're not right in your heart and spirit, like I mentioned, you're going to wonder and second guess why things are never going to work for you. You're going to second guess all the opportunities. You're going to second guess where you stand with people. You're going to second guess your business. And once you start second guessing that stuff, it's hard to get out of that mindset. It's not impossible, but it's hard to get out of that mindset. So you have to be pure. You have to stand on what you believe in and mean what you stand on. That's what it comes down to. That's the name of the game.
Come on, Nick.
Authenticity,
Come on,
pure
Nick.
intentions, just being yourself. In business, you gotta be yourself. Stop putting on a front to get likes, to get clout, to get influence, to get fame. Just be yourself, and you will attract all that you need. You don't have to be liked by everybody. You shouldn't want to be liked by everybody. People are gonna dislike you and hate on you and clown you and make fun of you, whether you're doing good or bad, regardless of how you slice it. That's the name of the game. In
It's always going.
entrepreneurship,
They always going to
business,
say something, Nick.
bro, it's crazy, Stack. You and I have been through this multiple times. We witnessed it firsthand. People saying that what we're doing is never going to work. You might as well go work a
Uh
nine to
huh.
five and be comfortable like everybody else. Well, you know what? I'm sure I'm not the only person in this room, but everybody in this room is a go-getter. Everybody got dreams. Everybody
Put
got
some
passions.
ones in the
Everybody has
chat if you would go
ambitions and
get it. Let's get it,
desires.
Nick. One in the
Yeah,
chat
if
for
you a go-getter, put some ones in the chat. Put some ones in the chat and some fire emoji. Because if you're not passionate about what you're doing, if you don't believe in yourself wholeheartedly, humbly, authentically, if you don't want to step on what you mean and step into what greatness is, you're really gonna wonder you're gonna wonder why things are never gonna work in your favor. And that alignment thing is huge. That's why I mentioned. Stop worrying about what other people think. Stop worrying about what other people are doing. When you stay in your own lane and focus on you, great things come your way. It may not come when you want it to, but it will come eventually. You can't rush the process. Slow progress is better than no progress. Be kind to people. Be kind to yourself. Be authentic. Stand on what you believe in and stop running away from greatness. If it's in front of your eyes, take it. Clench it in the palm of your fist and don't let it go. Stop letting opportunities pass over you repeatedly. And then when they pass over you, you wonder, oh man, I missed it again. I couldn't get it again. Now what? What do I do now? Stop second guessing yourself. Stop belittling yourself. Stop belittling the people around you. In order to build great relationships, you have to build a great relationship with yourself. Ooh, I don't think you heard me correctly. In order to build great relationships with other people, you have to build a great relationship with yourself. And I'm gonna leave it at that, Stack. Let's keep it going, bro.
Yo,
Well, I
yo,
want to
Nick's in
say
the
something
building.
about
Hold up,
that.
hold up, hold up, hold up. My brother Nick in the building. Y'all know what time it is. And Nick, tell him about the app, bro. Tell him to go download the app ASAP, real quick before you go, bro. Talk about the app. Extend that real quick. Just real quick. I want to give Nick that space to do that. Let's get it in real quick.
I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, I have a brand called Only the Motivated. I have an app on the Apple and Google Play Store. The app is about motivation, positivity, bringing people together, creating community. You can post your own affirmations, quotes. It sends you quotes every day, twice a day to keep you motivated, encouraged, and positive throughout your day. Because I know how hard it is to stay positive sometimes. Life can be chaotic for a lot of people. And I wanted to create an app in a community where people can come together, spread positivity, spread love across the world, because Lord knows we need a lot more of it. And if you want to download the app, again, just go to the app or Google Play Store, type in Only the Motivated. The app will be right there. If you can, leave us a great review, leave an honest review. Don't just give me
Let's
a review.
go.
Don't just give me a review just because you like me. Give me an honest review. Let me know how your experience is on the app. And again, get to know people. Just like Clubhouse, anywhere, any app you download, anywhere you go in the world, you got to network.
And Nick,
Networking can
one
take
more
you
thing
so many
before
great
you go.
places.
Tell them about what happened at the station. Tell them what you talked about and how you motivated the airwaves. Let's get it in. Let's go.
Man, listen, Stack and I met in real life, and it was crazy. We known each other for 2 years. We come from the same area. And I met Stack at the radio station on 88.5 FM, big city
Big
radio.
city, not the
And
little city,
Stack is
Nick. Not little city,
exactly
yo. Big city.
City, bro. You absolutely right. And I got to meet Stack in real life, and let me tell you, Stack is exactly who he is on Clubhouse, on social media, in real life. Stack is that guy. I'm gonna tell you right now, Stack is that guy. So the vibes was real, the energy was real. We literally just we teared it up. And Stack put me on to Phoenix Fire, who owns a radio station, and he put me on to that. So I got to give credit where credit is due. And like I said, Stack, you know we locked in, man.
We
Ain't even
locked
no
in,
words.
bro. What's up
Ain't
in
even
this
no words
stuff,
to be
Brody?
said,
You
bro.
know
You
what
know
it
what it
is, bro.
is.
Listen, Nick come through. He's gonna motivate y'all. He's gonna tell y'all what it is, right? Because the energy never lies. And if you guys agree, throw some more fire emojis in the chat. Because it's about motivation. Nick come in here and get the motivation, and you hear him fired up about the connections and what he's doing. You don't think that's gonna fire your ass up and get out there and do some shit? We just closed a deal with PSD today. Are you kidding me? You could do anything. Nick got an app right now, right? We building this community. We doing too much strong shit, not for people to support. You got to come in here every day. Anybody that supporting me, you got to show that real shit, not that fake shit, right? You got to come around me with genuine intentions and really wanting to add value to the team. I do real business out here. This media shit, I take this shit to the, yo, Robert, I'm going to the grave with this shit. Media, billboards, what y'all want to do? I'm controlling this whole shit. We got this down pat. I don't care what no one's saying. I'm stepping on business. And I'm gonna have people like Nick right beside
Business.
me. I'm gonna have Jay with me. I'm gonna have Robert with me. I'm gonna have Scotty with me. All these people been in business years before I even got here, bro. And I appreciate them because they always pour into me. Yo, Stack, do this. Yo, Stack, do that. My shit just be going crazy. Amanda with me. Y'all know what time it is. We getting busy like ASAP. Appreciate y'all. Let's keep pinging the room up and sharing the room up. And also, right, I want you guys to know you can do anything you put your mind to. It don't matter if you start from level 1 or level 0. You can do anything you want to do, right? When I first started on Clubhouse, I was just making beats on YouTube, making tight beats, making beats for people. Now we're doing entrepreneur stuff, mogul stuff, got my own chips, got my own wine. What we doing? Partnerships with some of the biggest companies in the world. You can do anything you want to do. You can picture, I picture this shit being big. You picture it being bigger than life. You don't, yo, you don't want to just stay out of, if you got to think, if y'all agree with thinking outside the box, throw some more fire emojis in the chat. Go think outside the box. If I would have stayed in the box just wanting to be a music producer, you think I would have you think I would have came across different opportunities being on TV and doing this and doing that and shaking hands with some of the best to do this shit? Like Jay Nolan? Are you kidding me? Come on, man. This is, you can do anything. You can go to the top of the mountain, get up on a UFO, get up on a plane, and come back down on this shit, right? Stop playing with me. Let's go. Ping the room up. And if you guys are just now joining, we're talking about how to maintain relationships. I talked about following up, communication. Nick came in here with that OTM vibe, right? That energy, motivating y'all. You can that's what it is. If you can motivate over 1 billion people and help them out in business, you'll be successful your goddamn self. You will be successful yourself, bro. If I can help out and motivate and put
Say that
fire in your
again, Stack. Say that
yo,
again,
if
bro.
I
Say
can
that again.
motivate over 1 billion people in their business, I will be successful myself. How you feel about that, Nick?
Bam,
Expand on that real quick,
bam,
bro.
bam, bam. I couldn't have said it better myself, man. Listen, it's like I mentioned before. If you're right within yourself, you'll naturally attract all that's meant for you, man. That's really all it comes down to. If you're naturally a good person, if you're naturally kind to people, and you stand on what you say and mean what you stand on, you'll attract all that you need. And you won't even have to second guess it. You won't even have to question it. You won't have to think, oh, well, is this really for me? Like, am I really motivating people? Listen, stop focusing on the fame. The money will come once you leave the impact. The impact. It's not fame. It's not credibility.
Mm-hmm.
It's not self accolades. It's the impact. It's not about how many people you can get money from. It's about how many lives you can positively impact. And that's the message
Come
today.
on,
Let's
look,
go.
Nick getting me fired up because you got to motivate people. If people come across you and they feel dead, they don't get any motivational words, they ain't learning nothing, for God's sake, Nick got an app you can tap into, right? If he ain't available to on Clubhouse or you can't hear, you'll be able to get the app. That's what's really fire, right, Nick? Like you could get the motivation on the app, and that was a smart move for a motivational speaker and for you to go that direction because now you don't have to physically, right, Nick? You don't have to be there. You don't got to tune in all the time. You can just tune in to the app. And that's a fire ass piece that you got in the business. And that should motivate you guys to get out there and do anything you want to do. Create your own rap, do your own things, make more connections, get on the radio thing, do this, do that, connect up, do more shit. Right? I want to go to Lindsay. I want to check on Lindsay real quick to see if she's around because I want her to fire it up. But I also want to go to Nene because she said she has something to say too. So I'm gonna check in on Nene and then I'm gonna come to Lindsay. So Nene, if you here, it's on you. And then I want to come back up to Lindsay and have her come in about how she feels about how the room is going. So Nene, if you're available, over to you. Let's go.
Hey, sorry, I've just had one of my teeth done. I've been at the dentist, so I've got a bit of a list. But let me try and keep the energy up because I felt like super gassed, super pumped up.
Well, Nene, we need that energy, Nene.
Yeah,
God
no,
damn it.
I don't usually have a list, but let me try keep the energy up. So when I first came into the room, you were talking about how to build relationships, and it just reminded me. Oh my gosh, I sound really crazy. But yeah, it reminded me of a time when I was really conscious of, well, I still try to do it now, where I trust my intuition. So I might have like a dream about someone, and I'll be like, I haven't spoke to that person for ages, right? But then I'll ignore it, and then I'll forget. So now I'm like, if I dream about someone, I'm gonna call them like the next morning. It's like, hey, how are you? Sometimes I'll tell them, yeah, I had a dream about you. Other if it's like a business relationship or someone, I don't know if it's not appropriate, but if it's family or friend, I'll be like, oh, hey, I had a dream about you. And I think it's just the universe telling you check on that person, or you might be just walking around, I don't know, shopping, and you'll see something that reminds you of someone, and I feel like that's the universe saying, hey, check on that person. So I check on them straight away, because if I don't, I know I'll forget, because life, we get busy. And I think naturally, if we allow ourselves to be in tune, those relationships that we need to build, our intuition tells us. Also, I do check in with people regularly. Um, that's such an annoying word. Every Sunday, or I try to. So I just check in, friends, family, acquaintances, associates, business contacts, and just sort of check in and not ask for anything. Hey, how you doing? Or sometimes offer someone, hey, I'm doing this. Thought you might want a ticket, or thought you might, sort of that sort of thing. And then also I've learned to make peace with as many people as you can. So you might have had an argument with someone, or I don't know, left things on like an awkward term, and I love to be that person to just say, hey, just reaching out, I forgive you for what you've done, or hey, we're just checking that we're still cool, still love you, have a lovely day, that sort of thing. Even if I never hear back from that person, or it takes that person maybe a month or 3 months to reply and say, hey, yeah, sorry about that, I was, I like to be the person to sort of reach out the olive branch, so I can let that go off my chest. That gives me the energy and the space, and the to move forward without a heavy heart, because I don't like to fall out with people. I don't like to be on bad terms with people. And then just to go back to the inspirational stuff that Stacks and Nick were saying, and others, was, at times I think we go through traumatic things, and we can sort of forget to see the long haul of the picture until we come out. And I think when we're going through traumatic things, I think for me, I have that period of like solitude and healing, and then I come out of it, and I don't ever really speak about it in a way that inspires me. So I'm learning through this app, through people who share their stories, and they use their trauma. Like, I can use my trauma to turn it into something positive, but I find it hard to share it amongst people and put a positive spin on it, because I get really caught up in the sort of emotion of it. So one of the things I've learned being on this app is using your story, because everything, just being as honest as you can about your lived experience really enables people to connect with you on a deeper level. I picked up on a few of the things that some of the ladies were saying earlier. I was pottering around, but I couldn't see who was speaking, but obviously, it's not good to lie, but sometimes I think, do people really need to know my story, my business? Like, am I telling them too much? Do they need to know? But it's like,
Nene got a point. Nene got a point. I don't know.
it's like, but if you can master the art of telling your story, no matter how traumatic it is, in a way that leaves that person feeling lighter and inspired. So you might take them on a journey where it's like, oh my God, like, wow, you've been through it, girl. But if you end on a positive and, I don't know, sort of pour into them instead of like trauma dumping, I think that that's phenomenal. And I'm still getting there, but I think being on this app, it's really inspired me to get to that place. So yeah, excuse me about the list, but as I said, I've just had some teeth removed at the back and all sorts of stuff, so I'm very swollen and numb. But I came onto this room and I thought I really wanted to pour into the room because I felt like the room had poured into me. So yeah, and that's all I wanted to add. And thanks for having me on the stage and letting me sort of oh, and there was one other thing I've learned: to go where you're appreciated. I think this room is full of people who actively want to share and pour into people and network and just be positive. And I think in some spaces that's not appreciated. So I've realized that sometimes instead of pulling back and sort of changing who you are, sort of remain the same sort of kind, loving, nurturing person, but pour into places and people that sort of don't throw it back in your face, or sort of, I don't know, it can be a weird place, Clubhouse. But I'm just grateful for this room and the people in it. And yeah, thanks again for letting me say my little two piece.
I appreciate you, Nene. Thanks for coming through, right? Let's keep pouring in, right? If you guys are just now joining, we're talking about how to maintain relationships in business and life, right? This is a grateful room, right? This is a mentor grateful room. This is going right on the podcast. We've been coming in with some fire shares, some meaningful shares, some passion shares, and we going in today, right? We ain't playing no games. Make sure you guys are in the XP Mentor community at the top. Make sure you guys are joining the club to see more rooms like this, more opportunities to come in here and get more, you know what I mean, energy, motivation, and hear our speakers and hear our friends come through and drop it like it's hot and kick it like a sensei. Y'all know what it is, right? Look, click the link at the top, bookwithstack.com, right? 15-minute call. I want to level you guys up on all social media platforms. It doesn't matter which platform you're on: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. It doesn't matter which one you're on. I want to find a social media strategy for you so you can get to the next level. Also, you have the option to get into magazines, placements, media, billboards, right? All this stuff to maximize your growth, maximize your exposure, so more people can see you and gravitate to your build, to all your business. I want to be your media builder. I want to dive in and build people's media. I want to help them get exposure, but it's up to you. You got to click the link at the top. You guys got to take the action, right? When I didn't have all the resources, I was looking for them. All the tools. Oh, yeah, who am I going to go to? What type of tools am I going to use? Man, you got the tools right here. Bookwithstack.com, Stackpack Media, right? We doing it right now. We're not doing it tomorrow. We're not doing it now. You know what I'm saying? 2 days from now, we're doing it now. You gotta do it now. You gotta take action now. So I appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody that's been pouring in. And let's keep the conversation rolling. How to maintain relationships in business and life. We're in a grateful room. I want to check on Lindsay to see if she's audible right now. Lindsay, are you here?
I am. Can you
Let's
hear me?
go.
Zaya!
Lindsay.
What's going on, family? What's going on? I'm so excited to be in here. And oh my goodness, gratitude and the power that it has to be a magnet. Like it magnetizes abundance towards us. It's energetic alignment with the divine. And so when we are in a space of gratitude, we have the antidote to anything that feels like hardship. Anything that feels like hardship can be overcome by finding the gratitude. Many of us call it silver lining. And this doesn't mean that we pacify ourselves when we feel those hard emotions. It doesn't mean that we skip over the feelings that are lower vibration. We recognize them and we take the opportunity, after we have given ourselves permission to fully feel whatever it is we feel in that moment, and knowing that that energy, that vibration will not serve us in abundance. And so it is our opportunity to come back. And it's, when we're talking about maintaining relationships, this is important. Why? Because it isn't that your close friends won't see you at your bottom. Again, I am one that gives myself full permission. If you're someone who gives yourself full permission to feel the feelings, which, by the way, a feeling is nothing more than it is the emotion being felt, right? So it is an emotion in physical form. So if you are someone who believes in your, the power of your feelings and giving yourself permission to feel them, go throw some exclamation marks over in the chat. If you believe you have permission to feel all your
Y'all better
feelings,
get up in the chat for Lindsay. You better get up in the goddamn chat. What's wrong with
I'm like,
y'all?
put some exclamation marks over there, friends. I want to see, like, do you give yourself permission? Because there is a thing called toxic positivity, and I'm speaking on this in relation to relationships because energy is authenticity. Like, you know what I mean? You can't put the wrong battery in and get a charge. You can't get the same productivity. And so energy cannot be dismissed. It cannot be erased. It cannot be faked. And so with this, when we give ourselves the feeling, look at all these exclamation marks. we got Keisha and Nay Nay. And by the
We
way, Nay
need
Nay
more
just
than that.
lit it
Y'all
up.
better go in. Y'all better need more than that.
Let's go. Let's go. We've
Yo.
got Jay and Joy and Shantae, Professor Cynthia, Angelica, Joy. Yes, people that give ourselves permission, because emotional intelligence is absolutely having awareness around our feelings. And so it is not toxic positivity. Like, only high vibration lives here. And in the same truth, we know what the vibration of abundance is. And so it is our choice on how long we're going to give ourselves to, sit in any one emotion, to stay within those feelings. There's a redirection that can happen. It is with gratitude. And the reason this is important is because, yes, our friends that love us, they'll sit with us in our dark moments. And I will the same for, my friends that I love too. And tell me if you agree. I want to see some fire in the chat if you agree with
Put
this.
some goddamn
There,
fire
hold
emojis in the
on. Let me
chat for
tell them what to
Lindsay.
put fire in the
Oh,
chat
okay,
for
okay,
first.
okay. I'm ready to rip it off.
Hold on, hold
Hold up,
on.
hold up.
He just jump into it. Jump stacks always on it. He's like literally mounted up, ready to go. You guys, if you agree, again, we're going to put some fire in the chat. If you agree that when it comes to the relationships, that if you are around somebody who is constantly complaining and never helping themselves, that it is freaking draining. I want some fire in the chat. If someone
Put
is
some
low
goddamn fire emojis
vibration,
in the chat.
if someone is low vibration and all they do is ever fuss about the shit that isn't working in their favor, and if you feel that is draining, it empties your battery, then I want to see some fire in the chat, because every single person who's putting fire and exclamation marks, these are people who are in tune with their energy. They are aware of their surroundings and how people make them feel and what they think and how they're showing up and what they're choosing in consciousness. And I say this when it comes to maintaining relationships in business and life, it is at this level of awareness, because it is not always having to reach out to everybody. It is around continued experience, exposure, and conversation that people will come to know you and understand you. And the deeper business that you do, the more I invite in deeper relationship. And that doesn't mean I only have deeper relationship with people I do business with. However, if you are in my inner circle, I know what you do in business. I'm likely referring to your business. If you are my homie, like, even if we're not doing business, I know these things about you. And so for me, it is not that I strive to show up in every single relationship at that level of intensity. That would be draining for me. And there'd also be some people in that pot that would be, those battery suckers. Like, we just lit the whole chat up in honor of, the fact that there are people that will not help themselves and they drain the energy from others that surround them. And so for me, it's important about discerning, where am I in relationship with people? Where is it that I am, able to support them and serve them? And then ensuring that I, am kind of doing the perimeters, if you will, always checking out the who is within my proximity, because energy matters. It matters a ton. And I get an opportunity to choose infinitely because I am in the driver's seat. So, maintaining relationships, do it regularly. Don't get stuck on somebody for everything. Honor the ones that show up consistently. Honor the ones that show they're in your favor, that speak highly of you, even when you're not present. Have your back and will go to bat, even if you never know about it. Like, we all know these things. And if you have, I would love to know in this room how many people. Brene Brown actually taught this to me. And I'm so curious what everyone in this room, and if you love Brene Brown, go put go put some hearts in the chat if you are a Brene Brown fan, because 3 rounds of leadership training through that woman's design was absolutely life changing for me. So if you are a Brene Brown fan, then I want to see some hearts in the chat to know who else I'm talking to. And then if there are not a lot of hearts, that means that this little activity is likely brand new to you. So I am so curious, and I invite you to really, really, really consider whose opinion of you really matters. Like, who, if they, if they were proud or upset, you would be really impacted, and their opinion about things in your life are very high value for you. So I invite you to make a list somewhere. If you have a mental list, I invite you to go put the number over in the chat, like how many people are at that level. She calls it your 1 by 1 square. There's a whole activity that lights it up and brings it forth, and really how divine those spaces are. And so I'm curious if people have, how many people have made that list for them. And I invite us all to consider who's in your inner circle, who is on that 1 by 1 card, who are the people that you are in the arena with, and they are in the arena with you, and they have their back to your back, and they are always pulling for you. And pour back into those people, say thank you. And that is maintaining relationships. Those are a few of the things that I do. And Stack, thank you for coming to me. I've been listening to you guys and lit up and behind the wheel of a car and moving tables for an event. And so I'm grateful that I was able to jump in. And I'm tossing it back to you to see who else is going to light it up on this stage
Listen,
around how to
Isaiah, I
maintain
appreciate you for
relationships in
coming in.
business and life.
I needed you to come in with that energy, with that passion, with that fire, right? If you guys are just now joining, we're talking about how to maintain relationships in business and life. Grateful. Let's go in. Let's tap in. I want to hear from everybody on stage. Thank you, everybody, from coming up. Jellica, Corey, Dimple, Cynthia, Scott, everybody that's been coming up. Todd, Vanilla, Mary, BK, Craig, Professor, everybody that's been coming up on the stage. I appreciate you guys. Let's dive into this topic, how to maintain relationships. Who else is taking the mic, diving in, and coming in next? Let's go. The floor's open.
I'm gonna jump in here really quickly before I
Come
have
on,
to
sis.
before
Rip
my
it
work
up.
day
Rip it
gets
up.
before it gets a
You in the
little
Matrix,
bit
Angelica.
Yeah, right.
y'all don't
Yeah,
hear me?
right, Corey. Yeah, right.
Corey, you know what? Stop playing with me today.
Yeah, right,
Always
Corey.
playing with me. So
Hold
I
up,
see the
sis. You
title
might be
of
in
the
the
room
matrix
and
a little bit. Just a little bit. No,
just a
just
little
like,
bit.
just
Y'all
like.
hear me now?
Just look, we can't hear
Y'all
you. You
excited.
good.
Why y'all have to bother me? What is wrong with y'all? Why y'all gotta bother me? I ain't do nothing. Hey room, hey everybody. As you see, my lovely brothers Corey and Stack love to bother me. But you know, the funny thing about that is the relationship that we have with each other. We can do that. And the funny part about it is our relationship started all on Clubhouse. When I see relationships, or when I think about relationships in business and in life, I see them as currency, especially in business. I always say that a relationship can carry you further than any money. And that's why I always have learned in business to keep my face clean and keep my word with individuals that I do business with and have business relationships with. I'm also able to decipher those business relationships. I'm gonna speak to the life piece in a minute, but I want to talk about business relationships because I can tell you that relationships have carried me a lot further than money, physical money has ever had, because those people had the knowledge, they had the connections, they had the network. Like when I tapped into them and networked with them, I gained their network as well. And when you're in business, you want to be able to build those relationships with individuals. Like we always think, oh, I got all this money, I got this, I got that. But when you have business relationships, like that's the best currency you can have, because it can take you further than any money that you can physically have in your bank account. And I've been in business almost 18 years. And I can tell you that my face has been clean this whole entire time. And when I say that, that means that I keep my word. And like if I can't do what it is that you're asking me, I'm going to tell you, because I know my boundaries and I know my limits. It used to be a time where I would overachieve. It used to be a time where I would overpromise. But I came into a point where like my capacity is my capacity, and you're gonna have to respect that. And how I approach and maintain my relationships, even in new ones, like I meet people where they are, and I either bring them up to their capacity or they bring me up to my capacity, or however it is. But it's all about meeting people right where they are, not having such a great expectation where they are, but get to know them, get to know their true self and who they are. And this is why it's important to always show up as your authentic self in these spaces, so people can get to know who you are and what you have going on and what you have to offer. Like me and Stack has never physically met, but you can't tell me that's my brother, because we have the same like spirits in a lot of things. We have a lot of commonalities, but that's because we were two people that showed up as our authentic self on audio apps. When you're on social media, show up authentic so you can build those genuine relationships, even when it comes down to friendships and in life. Now, these life friendships are certainly different from business relationships, and I have learned that over the years that everybody doesn't deserve to have access to you, especially when you're talking about your inner thoughts and your inner sanctum. It's only a few people that you probably can trust with those thoughts, those dreams, those visions that are going to fill you up, lift you up, and the rest and the relationship is reciprocal. Like my sister Lindsay talked about those people that drain you, those drainers. You really like those people are tiresome. Matter of fact, I ended a 14-year friendship because I had a person that was pulling so much from me, and I didn't really realize it till 14 years later. But what happened was I let the loyalty of time keep me in that relationship when it literally was draining me. I had to assess myself and say, why are you allowing this when you have other friends that are reciprocal, like they pour back into you? And I'm a giver, I'm a pourer. So I had to really figure this out, that it's not always one-way street, it's a two-way street. And so when you're building and maintaining relationships, really assess where you are and who you are and what your boundaries are, so you can maintain healthy relationships. Be able to communicate and articulate those things. Sit with yourself to know like if what you will and won't allow. And this is how I've been able to maintain business relationships and life relationships. I've also understood that everybody does not deserve access to me in a place where I'm telling them the things like my innermost thoughts and my dreams, because you have people that will kill your dreams. They'll present themselves friendly, but they're not really supposed to be a
Come on,
part of
come
where
on,
you're
hold
going.
on, sis. You think you slick? Talk about them people, them dream killers. Let's talk about it.
You have people that you can, because you're so excited and they presented themselves friendly and they made it seem like that they were like, your bestest of best friends. This is where your discernment need to kick in, because I'm telling you something. One thing you can learn about people on this app, why I love this app. I don't got to never see your face, but in your conversation, I can get to know a lot about you by the way you talk. And if you are really sitting back and
Mhm.
observing and listening to an individual, you can know how they move, you can know how they are, and you can know how they talk. If they are people that are negative and they're always, playing the victim role, that's probably not people you want to tell your dreams to, because they're going to always be the one talking about your little business. And they're going to always be the one saying, well, I don't think you should do that because everybody doing that. They're going to be the ones that's going to try to push you into a corner when they already, and guess what the thing about dream killer stack, dream killers know your potential. They
They
already
they
know that you're
they know
great.
you the superstar.
They already know that you're gonna shine, but what they try to do is speak down to that what you are doing and make you feel like you can't. And if you're already in a place where you have fear and you're kind of doubting yourself, that individual can make you hesitate on what it is that you're supposed to do. But if you really sit back and observe, you should know that you shouldn't even be telling them those type of things anyway. This is how I keep, because everybody like, Angelica, you know a lot of people. I do, but I have this thing where I have an outer circle, inner circle, and I'm a preacher, so but I just have outer circle, inner circle, and then I have an inner sanctum. Like those are the people that know my deep thoughts, my deep dreams when I'm going through a lot of things, because I trust them with that information and they can bounce me back. The people in my outer circle and my inner circle, they see me, hey, how you doing? We keep it going. But what happens is we tell our business to the wrong people, and we think that that's a we'll think that that's a relationship, that, oh, they're my friend, but all the whole time they're killing what it is that you're made to do. And so you got to be careful of that. You got to be observant. Don't be so how can I say this, fast to make friends, or so fast to jump into relationships, whether it be romantic or platonic. You really got to sit back and observe. They ain't going nowhere. If they want to be your friend, they'll be around. They'll wait. They'll get there until you cultivate that. We rush into things sometimes. We rush into relationships, whether it be friendship, business or whatever. And then when we get hurt by it, we be like, dang, but the signs be there. If you observe, you can see the red flags. And over the years, I saw red flags in that 14-year friendship. And I'm just going to talk about me. I saw red flags, but I kept ignoring them because I let the loyalty of time keep me in a place. But what I realized was I was still growing. That person was at their max capacity. That's what it was going to be at. As much as I tried to pull them, as much as I tried to pour into them, that's where they were. And I had to accept it. But I also had to say that because we're not on the same level, it's not that I hate her. It's not that I would not do anything for her, but I can't have her that close to me like I used to because it was draining me. So if you really sit back and look at your relationship, sit with yourself first. Know you, know your boundaries. You'll really see that some people ain't even supposed to be around you as you think they should. And then you'll also be hesitant about who you give your dreams and your visions to, because those people can really set you back from stepping out and doing what it is that you're supposed to do. I guarantee you, some of you have told your dream or your vision to somebody that you thought was close, near and dear to you, and you love them, and they said something like, oh, everybody doing that, or da 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 da, and they cause doubt to be incited into your spirit, and you say, well, maybe I shouldn't do it. You start talking yourself out of it. You don't need those type of people in your life. You need people that's going to speak life and say, well, hey, how can I help you? Or maybe you should research this, or you should do that. You need those people that are going to cheer you on. And again, you can tell that if you just sit back and observe, low and slow. One thing about Disney movies, I love Cars. They said they say low and slow. I am low and slow. I'm slow to even go rush into something because I'm gonna sit back and observe who you are. Because at this point in my life, it's a lot for me to lose. It's a lot for me to lose, and it's a lot for me to put in the hands of people that I don't know if I can trust them or not. So I always observe. If they want to be my friend, if they want to be a part of the crew, guess what? They're going to be there. They're going to be there. I have not rushed into a relationship. I have not rushed into a friendship because I'm really trying to figure out, like, feeling you out. What's your purpose? Why are you here? Are you here to like kill my dream, or are you here to help my dream? That's a question that I literally ask when new people are presenting to me, like, what you came for? Who sent you? Why are you here? And it's not in a bad thing. It's for me to check myself because I'm such a kind-hearted person, and I give you the world, and it'll be on my onus because I gave you something that you probably wasn't ready for or you didn't deserve. So don't be so fast to rush into a relationship, whether it be business, platonic, or even romantic. Sit back and observe. You'll get to know where those people fit in your life. And over time, as you are maintaining those relationships, understand that everybody has flaws. Nobody is perfect, and be able to accept that and understand that, everybody will be on the same level with you, and that's okay. Know your boundaries and know who you are.
Listen, my sis Angelica coming hot. Put some fire emojis in there, Jay. We need some fire emojis in there, man. I need y'all to get up in the chat. Get up in the chat for my sis. Go crazy in the chat real quick, cause she dropped it like it was crazy. Get up in the chat for Angelica. Blow it up, because that's what it is. That passion. You can hear the passion. You can hear the shares. You can hear it inside of people when they come share. So I appreciate you, sis,
Stack,
for
real
coming
quick, I
through,
want to say
locking
something,
in.
not to
Let's
speak
get it.
over you, but I want to share because I have been lighting it up, trying anyways, and I'm sure everybody else has too. And all I'm getting at the top of my app is
Yeah.
the servers are struggling. So I
Yep.
wanted to come in and say that my sister for sure just laid it down and put so many amazing things into this space. And I know that the lack of responsiveness is also because the servers are
I'm
struggling.
happy.
So with that,
She done blew it out. She done blew it out, Lindsay.
Damn, she done blew it out.
Angelica done blew it out.
Jay,
She
she
I
did.
blew it
did
out.
not. I
She
did
make me
She
want
went
to
not.
slide
around.
right now, Jay. I feel like
Hey
sliding.
man, we got a slide. Give me a
Let me give you a
slide. Then
slide,
we get
Jay.
Donna
All
in there
right.
after. Give me a slide. Then we get Donna.
Let me
What you
see.
gonna do, Don?
What we? Let me.
Hey, hello everybody. How are you?
We up in
Uh,
here rocking.
my
You
name is
hear? You hear what's happening?
We in here.
Huh?
We in here.
We in here. We outside.
This is my
Even though
first
we
time in your
inside, we
room.
outside.
Yeah, you guys are on fire. Taking great notes. I've got to jump off in a few, but I've been enjoying the room so much. Just so much good information, so much positivity. Learned a lot just listening to everybody chime in. And I wanted to just jump on the conversation that Nick was talking about is looking for your friends to be your supporters. And I want to talk about something. I want to touch on that just a little bit because he talked about, get it right within yourself. So I was asking myself, like, just for someone else, like, how would you do that? Like, what do you do? So for me, I'm thinking, I like that. You have to be right within yourself. You have to be positive. But for me, I think you need to be walking the truth in all things. And that's like I give myself a word for the year, like my own affirmation, and I apply it every month. The truth has to be in that thing and everything that I do. So my purpose is to talk about dating as a single person. That's that relationship that you have on top of your business relationship. And sometimes we say dating sucks, or dating is crappy. Well, to jump on what Nick was saying, you have to believe in yourself first. You have to, and what everybody else was saying, but I heard Nick's conversation before the service was backed up. But you have to be in the truth, and you have to put, as Angelica said, you have to put people in their right place. You have to determine who is this person, and based on their actions or their conversation, how do I want to place them in my lives? Are they an associate? Are they a third level associate where we just say hi and bye, like the security guard people in the in a business office that you work in? Are they a friend? Are they a close friend? Are they a best friend? You have to decide where people are going to be in that place with you. And that means you have to walk in the truth and be honest with yourself, even though they're giving off best friend vibes. They may not be best friend material. So you want to just, or that guy or that girl, in my case, it would be a guy, but you have to ask yourself, is this guy's trying to date me, but is he late? Do we even get to a date? Is the conversation worth getting, that relationship, is it worth building on? If you see the red lights, it's a darn red light. It's not a green light. That means stop. Don't go. Look both ways. Look all ways. Just decide how people are going to be in your life. Uh, Stay truthful. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to get yourself in alignment, like I heard earlier. But that means that you have to have your faith say, this person is is this person somebody I want to date? Is this person want to date me, or are they just looking for a good time? Because when you date someone, it can impact how you run your business. It can impact your headspace. That emotional. Who was that? To unpack the six pillars. Um, Jay, unpack the six pillars: the financial, the spiritual, the mental, the emotional, the physical, the social. So when you bring on somebody new in your space, that you have to decide: do I want to immerse them in my business? Am I begging them to support me? Do they have to support you? Maybe you have to decide, who is this person in your life. Maybe just have a relationship without incorporating them into your business. And just when you get with them, you don't discuss business. You just enjoy the relationship, that balance. I heard that word earlier too. So I just like the conversation. I like the flow. I joined your room, and I'm so appreciative. And my name is Donna, and I land my plane. Thank you so much.
It's Monica again. I was just gonna
Donna just
say,
brought it.
Don, I appreciate you. Let's go. Let's keep it rocking. Who's coming after Don? Who wants to come in and share? Appreciate you guys for being on the stage. How to maintain relationships in business and life. Let's keep rocking.
Hey,
Let's go, Corey. What up?
oh
Hey.
Corey, go ahead.
Hey, pull up all black, I'm not showing no test. I don't got it. They know I'm a mag. She's not fucking, so I'm not a test. Yo, 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 what's up with it, fam? How y'all doing,
Corey,
man?
what
Y'all
up,
know my
bruh?
thing, man.
Long time.
If
See.
y'all didn't know, let me go. What's up with it, baby? She second, she for me, smacking that ass. I'm putting that money. Let's get to that money. Let's get to that money. Let's get to that. Hey, let's get to that money. Anyway, man, that's my theme song. Let's get to the money, man. This is a great conversation, man. I love the shares of Angelic and everybody. Just been sitting back listening and getting some work done because I am still getting to the money. But I think relationships, how to maintain relationships in business and life, is, I think, the word and the answer is right after the heart. Is to be grateful. To be grateful that you have relationships. To be grateful that you have people in your life that want to stay connected to you. To be grateful that you have people that love you, whether you're up, whether you're down, whether you're wrong, whether you're right, that you have people in your life that are willing to hold you accountable, that you have people in your life that will celebrate your victories and allow you to understand that your failures are not fatal. Be grateful for relationships. That's personal. In business, I think it's about reciprocity. And Angelica said it earlier that the greatest currency on this planet is not money, but it's relationships. And if you cultivate enough relationships, that one relationship that you cultivate, that you're grateful for, that you follow up and you follow through and you stay connected and you show concern and you give empathy and you give value to that relationship, then if you ever find yourself down on your butt, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you don't have something, it's not necessarily your credit um, or your cash that will get you to be elevated, but it's your credibility. It is how conscientious you've been about staying connected and supporting people and showing up for people. And again, relationships I think are the greatest currency. And I think the way you maintain them is by being your authentic self, by showing up for people, by being honest, by not trying to walk around with a mask on, not to be two-faced. Because there's some people, man, and we've all met them before, that they present one thing, but once you get to know them, you realize that it is something completely different behind the mask of impression that they gave you when they first met you. And so, but when you really meet authentic people, personally and business, people that really truly care, people that really are not trying to get over on you, people that are not trying to take more away from you than they're willing to give to you, then you be grateful for those relationships, because I think that's some of the most powerful sauce on this planet is having people that will bring up your name in the conversation, knowing that them bringing up your name will elevate you and elevate your company. And even if they don't get a piece of the profit, they're just proud to see you be successful and to know that you would do the same thing for them. I think that is how you maintain healthy relationships, is by being grateful, is by being reciprocal, by being honest, and being sacrificial. You cannot have a relationship if you are selfish, if you are just about you, just about what you can get, what you can take, what you can gain, how you can
Damn, Corey,
elevate.
unpack that, bro. Unpack that part.
You will never have a healthy relationship. I'll say this, Jay. I was on a coaching call with a young lady today, and we just talked about personal relationships. And she calls me and she wants me to coach her through, and she said, well, coach, listen, man, I want to be married, right, and I want to be in a relationship, right, but then she also says, but when I'm dating guys, I don't really feel like giving effort to communicate because I'm a loner. I'm a loner and I've been conditioned to be by myself, and so it's hard for me to reach out and to communicate on a day-to-day basis. I'm the type of person that I don't have to talk to you every day or every other day, or I could go 3 or 4 days without talking. And I asked her a question. I said, can you repeat to me what it is that you desire? She said, I desire to be married. I said, and you desire to be in a relationship, right? I said, well, how can you be in a relationship with someone else when the only thing you can think about is what's comfortable to you? Being in a relationship is not just about what's comfortable to you, but how can I serve the other person? How can I edify? How can I lift up the other person? Even if it means sometimes stepping out of what I'm comfortable of, in order to be a blessing to somebody else. You cannot be selfish. You cannot be self centered. You cannot be all about yourself if you want to maintain any healthy relationship, and that is personal or in business. That's my share. It's Corey the Coach, and I'm going to get back to getting to the money. Gang, gang.
Power share,
Let's
bro.
go,
Power.
Corey. Let's go.
I love that part,
I
Corey.
miss
And y'all like
you
that
in
part
the
where you
Matrix.
said you cannot be selfish and be in a relationship. Everybody take that in. Like, soak that in. You want a great relationship, Corey said. That's what stood out to me the most about what Corey said. You can't be selfish and be in a relationship. I love that. Take some notes. Mike's in the air. Who's coming in?
I
Hey, oh, it's Monica. I was just going to say, to me, my opinion, there's two types of people in the world. So you're either a part of the solution or you're a part of the problem. Like to me, if you're not working towards making something better, which is whether it's our business relationship or personal, that's the same as working against us. Everybody's got to put forth an effort. And I just think not everybody's meant to be in your life forever. There
Come
are
on, come on.
people like it's called addition by subtraction. So there are people that if you remove them, and I hate to say remove people, but it is fact, we get weighed down by dead weight. But if you remove some people from your life, you've gained something. So addition by subtraction really is a thing, and not everybody's meant to be there for the long haul. That's it.
Addition by subtraction. Oh
Y'all
my
better run with that one. What you gonna do
come
with
on.
that one, Joy? What you gonna do with that one,
Go.
Joy?
Man, no, it's beautiful because I'm sitting here and I'm listening to this song, Big God, I love it. But I'm listening to that and that was just it was, oh my goodness, both of those last two. I love the addition by subtraction. I'm gonna use that and I'm gonna try my best to credit you, but I won't take full credit for it. But that was beautiful because we can't add to our lives and have the dead weight. That's beautiful. And then I'm thinking about the last person. I'm sorry, I didn't see who it was speaking. Corey, I think she said, but when you said that, how can you be in relationship with somebody and then but only think about what's, important to you and what value, and then to say that you want to be married, how can you be a person that wants to be married and within the essence of marriage, at the end of, at the core of marriage, 17 years in, y'all, by the way, at the core of marriage is communication. Like, and you're gonna be with this person, like the core of communication is intimacy. So, when we have to think about, when we thinking about relationships, right, in business and in life, we have to be grateful for where we are and understand that sometimes you may want something that you really aren't ready for, because you cannot be ready for marriage and not want to be connected to somebody on a daily basis. It's an oxymoron. It doesn't make
Did
sense.
you
So
say you might want something that you're not really ready for?
yes,
Woo.
yes. I mean, it takes work. A marriage within itself takes work, and then nothing reveals to you how selfish you are more than the closest relationships to you. And marriage and parenting are two of those relationships. I released my mic.
Joy, I've been, and this is good. This is really good. And I want two things I want to say. One thing about a mask, when people wear a mask, and once it cracks, you can't put it back together the way it's supposed to be. You could use what you use to try to put it back together, because I've tried it. I used to wear a mask for a very long time, and I tried to fit in places and spaces and relationship, all those things. But when it cracks, it just simply cracks. But we have to be able to recognize the cracks. It'll fool some people some of the time, but you can't fool, people all the time. But you have to be willing to recognize the cracks and call them out. And so I've been divorced. I've been married twice, divorced, and I've been divorced since 2009. And I've been working on me and my relationship with God. And so a lot of people are like, well, how can a woman like yourself? I've heard everything it is to hear under the sun and then some. Things that people will say way into the next century. Why don't you have a man? And why don't you this? And why don't you that? I'm busy learning myself, loving myself, falling in love with myself. And until we can do those things, you set yourself up for failure, and you set the other person up for failure. Sometimes people want to be in a relationship just to say that I'm in a relationship, and you just set people up for failure. And we want things in other people that they can't give us, and we go into relationships already failing because we already know, well, we should know that that person, a man, can't give me everything that I need. I'm sorry. Something he can't give me what God is supposed to give me. He's just a man.
Come on, Cynthia. Come on. You can't even give you everything you want to give
That
you. Come
part.
on, girl.
That part.
You can't even give.
That part. That part. So we set ourselves up for failure. We set them up for failure. And it's just failure all the way around. As women and as a Black woman, we teach our daughters. We teach them what to look for in a man. We teach them everything. We show them how a man is supposed to love us. We show them how we're supposed to love ourselves. And we have to think about it on that level, because we set them up for failure. We set them up for failure. So I'm very mindful. I have three granddaughters, and I have five grandsons, three daughters and one son. And I see a lot of me in them. And some things I'm choosing to change. that it's okay to be by yourself. It's okay to take your time and love yourself and learn yourself and relearn yourself. It's okay to say no. It's okay to wait. It's okay to do all those things. And so it's just so powerful. And I don't think we understand and realize what the power that we give it when we're passing it on and duplicating efforts and behaviors and learn behavior, because it's so hard to unlearn these behaviors. And like I said, I've been divorced since 2009. Do I desire a husband? Yes, I do. Would I get married again? Yes, I will. I'll wait for God to part the Red Sea again and have a man sitting in the middle of it before I say yes. And I'm going to make sure that I'm ready, because I'm not going to do this again. Life is short. So at my age and the things I've gone through, I want to get it right once, and I want to get this thing right, but I also come into it with a lot of knowledge and understanding. And so it's so powerful, but I don't think we get that part when it comes to relationships and different things like that. So and I'll stop right there and give somebody else a chance to speak, but we have to it's so powerful on so many different levels. And I'll say this one more thing. My youngest granddaughter will be 4 next month. I call her a princess, and she's dark skinned, much darker than me. Her father was dark, and so she's beautiful. She thinks she's a mermaid. She thinks she's a mermaid, the black mermaid, the princess, Ariel. She all those things, and she loves herself. She knows what her worth is, even at her age. And we teach her that at all whatever. She is beautiful, beautiful. And we have to realize that, because our children do, like I said, they duplicate the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so and I challenge you to be mindful, to just the things that we teach our children. And like someone said earlier, we teach people how to treat us, and our children get that from us. My name is Cynthia, and I'm done speaking for now.
I want to say something really quickly. I had a thought, and that was a great share, Cynthia. It was something that you said, and I'm trying to make it come back to my mind right now because you literally just said, "Oh, when and it's kind of been a common thing across the room. Like when we know ourselves, we are able to maintain our relationships properly. However, when we don't know ourselves, we become interdependent on other people, which may cause us to choose the wrong relationships because we're looking for something in that person, feeling that they can fulfill it, but it might not be the right relationship for us. And again, that can be business, platonic, romantic. However, this is why it's important to get to know you, who you are, your authentic self, and be able to sit with yourself so you can maintain healthy relationships. You can't always be a taker, and sometimes it can be a little bit unhealthy to always be the giver. And this is why it's okay to give yourself permission. It's okay to give yourself the permission to be who you are. Like you don't have to hide behind a mask. I can remember some time ago when I was dealing with my trauma and when I was dealing with all the things that I had gone through. Can I tell you and be honest in this room that I was looking for something that I wish I had in myself in other people, which caused me to choose the wrong relationships romantically, the wrong friendships. And what I found out is when I started growing, I outgrew those relationships. I outgrew that romantic relationship or that platonic friendship or even that business relationships because I was looking for value that I wish I had in myself in other people. And I had to really sit down with Angelica and say, hold on, what are you doing? Like you really have these things inside of you. You just got to deal with some things that's within. You got to do some inner work. You got to sit with yourself and stop looking for validation from other people. I know nobody don't want to say that, oh, I was looking for validation in this person and that person. I was that person. I was seeking validation, which caused me to bond with people that I had no business being around. And when I outgrew them, it was hurtful. But now that I look back on it, I'm like, I should have never been in that situation, whether, like I said, business, platonic, or romantic. I should have never been there in the first place if I really was cultivating and focusing on me. And when you're able to focus on you, who you are, set your boundaries, you will not look for something that you wish you had in yourself in somebody else. You'll be trying to develop that characteristic. You'll be trying to develop the thing that you know is there. but you're just so afraid to go after. You're so afraid to develop it. You're so even afraid to acknowledge that it's even inside of you. And it could be from, environmental trauma. It could be from family trauma. It could be from whatever that has you fearful to acknowledge that you even possess the trait that you're looking for in somebody else that will cause you to be in places and relationships that you shouldn't even be in. That's one point I want to say. The second part that I want to say is that if the airlines, Delta, I'm a Delta girl, y'all, United, American, whatever, if they charge for extra baggage, what makes you think that the baggage that you're holding on to, the people, the friendships, the relationships that you're holding on to because you're so afraid to let them go because it's so familiar to you, what makes you think it's not going to cost you? The airlines charge for extra baggage. I mean, when I go, they charge me. And when I hold on to extra baggage, it costs me something, whether it's my character, it costs me my peace, because I'm holding on to people that I probably have outgrown, or I have connected with people that I shouldn't have connected with in the first place. And I built these relationships off of a false pretense and off of a false foundation. So now it's costing me my growth and my peace. I learned a long time ago that it's okay to let people go. It's okay to leave people right where they are. It's okay that people have grown to their capacity and I'm still growing, because you can't take everybody with you as you are elevated to the top. I had to learn that because, again, I'm a giver. I want everybody to go with me. I think everybody deserves to be in this place. But guess what? Everybody doesn't, because they're not going to put in the same work that you do. They may even hinder you. And again, they can cost you. Just like the airline charge for extra baggage, that baggage that you hold it on can cost you something. And this is why it's so important to sit and evaluate certain things about yourself, because you can recognize it and let it, instead of letting it be years and years of you holding on and being in a stagnated place and you trying to figure out, why am I still here? You might want to check the relationships that you have, because every relationship that you have may not be the best relationship, or it may not be the most healthiest relationship. But sometimes we refuse to sit and acknowledge that some of our friends that we've had for a long time may not be equipped, and it's okay to go where we are going. Some of our family members, we might want to take them too, but they may not be equipped to go where we're going, and that's fine too. It's okay to be that person, but again, it all starts within you. It all starts within yourself, because if you are working on the inner works and you're very self-aware and you got emotional intelligence, you'll give yourself permission, you'll know how to navigate, and you'll know how to evaluate, and you'll be okay to have healthy conversations with those people. It ain't got to be beef when I say, listen, we ain't gonna be hanging out like we used to, because I don't feel like it's serving a purpose. I had to have this hard conversation with the friend that I had for 14 years. It hurt in the beginning, but guess what? We both understood, because guess what? She's growing in a different circle. I'm growing in a different circle and going down different paths. And who's to say later on down the road we won't cross paths? It's never beef when we let people go. It don't have to be toxic when we let people go. When you're talking about dealing in relationships, it takes mature people, because you got to be able to have the hard conversation. Say, listen, this ain't probably really serving the purpose that it used to serve, or it might be out of season. It's fine. We got to get used to letting things go that is no longer serving us, or we're no longer serving it, because then we start feeling guilty, and we start over promising and overachieving because we feel like we got to maintain this thing. But it's okay to let go. It's okay. And when you know who you are true to yourself, you'll be able to evaluate and acknowledge those things, and you'll be able to see your growth and see, how you maintain and navigate relationships. So just wanted to add that in there.
Baggage weight. I'm gonna keep that with me, girl. That was good, Angelica.
You coming in hot. We've been firing it up. We've been firing it up. Let's go.
Stack, you got to know that something Angelica said. You have to know the seasons in your life. You have to know what season you're in your life, because every season you do
Of
something different.
course. It's always something in the new season, Cynthia. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you have to prune in some things fall off so other things can grow, bud out in the springtime. We have to know the seasons in our life, because if you don't, you'll be very confused. If nature was confused about we would be in trouble. We would be in more trouble than we're in right now. But we have to know the seasons, and most importantly, acknowledge the seasons in your life and give space to that.
I got one more thing I want to say, and that's that right there is so powerful because one of the things that I had wanted to say earlier and I didn't, probably because I've been talking so much, is sacrifice. How to maintain relationships and business and life and being grateful with
Let's go.
love
Let's go.
is sacrifice. We have to know that there are certain periods in our life, just speaking to what you just said, there are certain periods in our lives where we have to sacrifice. Yeah, right now, I really want to do certain things in my life, but at the same time, I have to realize that right now I have to sacrifice. I got little kids and I got teenagers. So guess what? Right now, I can't go to all my friends' parties. Right now, I can't do everything because why? I got to sacrifice for a period so that I don't have to bring my kids back home because they're incapable of taking care of themselves because I didn't properly train them. Sacrifice. That's love. I relinquished my mic.
Hey, Stack, this is Greg. Can I say something?
Let's go, Greg. It's on you, man. How to maintain relationships in biz. How you feeling about the room? Let's get into it.
Listen, I'm traveling 5 hours. I had to go see my baby girl and take her something because she's going through a divorce. So she said, Daddy, can you come down and see me? So I drove 4.5 hours. Now I'm heading 4.5 hours back to Ohio. But this is a true friend here. My childhood friend, my wife's childhood friend. My wife and I have been friends since fifth grade, been married 36 years. So I called our childhood friend Charlie up and I said, what's up, man? So, how you doing? He's like, man, I'm doing good. I'm seeing you blowing up, Greg, for the past 20 some years. And I said, why don't you ever reach out to me? And this is why my wife just paid off his house for him and his wife. He said, Greg, I saw you was going someplace where I could not help you. And I did not want to drag you and Jan down from doing your business. And I tell people, that's a true friend. That is a true friend. So I said, brother, I said, listen, I'm at the top of my game because of people like you I grew up with. I said, so from now on, we will stay connected every weekend. You will come to my house. I will come to your house. That's true love when your friend can say, I didn't call you because I thought I would drag you down. That's true love right there. That's true friendship. And I tell people this, of someone who owns over 300 franchise restaurants, don't don't neglect your children, your spouse for what you're doing. Because I have a lot of friends in the restaurant business who sacrificed their family. Now they have all the money in the world, but their kids are just running the streets. A couple of them became heroin addicts. They went through cars, they went through homes. So sacrifice, but sacrifice for your family. Because in the end, it doesn't matter what you drive, how big a house you have, who's going to be there by your side. That's it. Peace. I'm driving.
Did we lose connection?
Yeah, we lost connection. Jay, what's going on? Who's
You
coming in
said
next?
Greg?
Yeah, he
I'm gonna
said he
give
was
it to
driving.
more people. Let's get
Oh,
it in.
okay, yeah. Greg sat there and rocked it, then all of a sudden it cut out.
Let's go. I
What's
heard
happening
somebody
now? What's
going in.
happening? Who's coming in? Let's go.
Keep this rolling. Y'all know if it get that, y'all know what happens. Clip, clip, clip. Yeah, let's go. Whoever
Hey,
else wants to come in hot.
Big stack.
Biggest stack on
hey,
earth.
Stack.
What we doing? Yo, somebody listen. Somebody come in. If
Yeah,
not, y'all already know what's going on.
Stack.
What's good?
Stack. It's David, mate.
Go ahead,
When
David. It's
when
on
when
you. Let's get it.
I can't remember who it was we were speaking before earlier because I was riding my bike. But it just reminded me of this phrase which I heard, and it's not mine, but I live by this. People come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Don't try and make these people fit where they aren't intended. This is what causes you pain and brokenness. Try to find the lessons in God in the sending through that person to build your own strength and character. So don't be afraid, as the lady, apologies for forgetting your name or not knowing who that was that shared that before. But don't be afraid of making those sacrifices and cutting those people out of your life because and sometimes you have to help you grow. It's like, and some of them most of the time have to be family members because they're the people who try and not intentionally but anchor you down and not see your true potential, because it's not them doing it on purpose. It's just that they don't want to be seen to be left behind, as in they haven't been as brave or as fearless as you have been to push forward through all your challenges to strive for what you want in your life. So I just wanted to share that and yield my mic back to anybody.
Can I come in?
That was excellent, David. Yeah, let's hear it, man.
Yeah, good day. Great. I'm Chukukanya Asham. Just want to explain to everyone that relationship, business, and life, I'm grateful. How to maintain relationship in business is to stay true to what you are, agree with anyone. Anything that you agree with anyone, stay to it, don't compromise. By staying to what you agree with anyone brings integrity. Integrity is important in relationship. If you drop standard of which you agree with anyone, you're violating the principle of staying in a good relationship, and that it's not going to bring an appreciation at the end of the relationship. Gratefulness is an appreciation to a good state in relationship, and that brings a loving life when you're able to stay to your commitment, what you agree on, integrity and confidence. Building confidence is over time when you are keeping to what is expected of you. When because relationship is not a thing of one person, it's two people and more. And when you stay on to that is exactly what you expected, as in your co-person, maybe male or female. Then when you stay to that which you agree as a standard of which both of you agree, you're going to have a peaceful relationship, and it's going to be something life loving, and it's going to bring in appreciation at the end of it. So it's important that when we want to have any relationship, and we should stay true to that as we agree to ourselves, both in business and off business. It's important that we should stay to what we agree to one another. That's my short statement. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I would love to add, David, and good to see you, Jay, Robert Stack. This is Shapat, and hi, Dimple. Great friend is here. I think, business and personal relationships is pretty much have the same basics. First thing first, I think is the intention and why the relationship exists. What's the common tangents on which you try to build a relationship? And most of the times you start off a relationship with something else in mind, and it kind of evolves and progresses into completely something different. And people usually get afraid because you're stuck with that notion that why you ever met the person in the first place. And the reasoning of the relationship changes, and the acceptability is not there. So the first thing is trying to be fluid. You need to be fluid when you're in a relationship. The second thing is trust does not mean that the other person always does what you want them to do. Trust means that you let them do what they want to do, and you trust them with it. And most of the relationships kind of fall away, even in business and in personal life, because if your business partner tries to take an action, take a decision, and you don't trust them because you're like, well, you kind of agree to it or you don't disagree to it, or you disagree to it and you're like, oh my God, what's wrong? Why didn't you ask me? You could have told me. I would have said this. I would have said that. So managing trust and the definition of trust, I believe, is extremely important. The third thing to maintain a great relationship is give unconditionally. And this requires courage, honestly. I have seen that people, when they give something, they start stacking it up, adding it up, aggregating it together. And then they would like to come around and say, oh, I did this for you, I did this for you, I did this for you. And the other person is like, I don't even remember that you have been adding and calculating all these things, bringing it into something which is more transactional. So if you find someone like that, a great idea is that do not come back telling them that you have done so much and then I have done so much. It will lead to an argument. Just be grateful to what they have done. Give them the space to share what they've done for you. Be grateful to them for whatever they have done. Because you know what? If anybody even gives you a smile, you actually don't deserve it. It's out of their generosity that they do something to you, no matter how much you have put into a relationship. So appreciation is really the key factor. When you appreciate people, your relationship will be maintained. The another very important thing is communication. And communication is extremely important. Now, communication is not that I'm going to tell you something straight. Hey, I'm like, hey, Jay, brother, whether you like it or not, it might be harsh on you, but you know what? Da 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 da. That's not how you do it. If you want to speak the truth, you need to be extra cautious, because the purpose of you communicating truth is not to throw the truth on someone's face, but the purpose is the other person actually embraces the truth and acts upon it and lives accordingly. You want an impact of the truth. And to have a good impact, you have to share the truth in a humble way, in a deeper way, with wisdom. You cannot just throw the truth. You have to be soft spoken. You have to be kind. You have to strategize how to communicate the truth. And then transparency, obviously. Another very important thing about relationships is, and this is how I have maintained relationships, at least in our part of the world, which is in the Middle East, and also with a lot of Americans and globally, the relationships that we hold. We, most of the times, I personally make a personal relationship first and a business relationship later. I love to meet humans at the level of humanity, right? Want to know the person. Try to see the spirit. Try to see the heart first. And if the heart is in the right place, the mind can be controlled. The mindset can be changed. The perceptions of people can be changed. The way they look at life can be changed. The way their thought processes or the way they decide things or look at things can be changed. But what you cannot change is someone is good or evil. And that is the spirit of human beings. There are people who are good and there are people who are evil. Divide them into these two categories. Look into the soul. Look into what you can do for them, how you can serve them. Once you know how you can serve them, you will build a business relationship out of it. But if you're looking for how they can buy from you or how you can sell them, you'll never have a great relationship because you'll always be pushing something out. The last thing I want to share in relationships is the definition of love. That love is where everything is created. God created everything out of love. When you hate something, you destroy it. Similarly, if you have to maintain something, it has to be nurtured with love. How pure is your love defines how great and how many and how beautifully how you maintained relationships. So a person with purity, with a lot of love, the more he gives, and exponentially the universe will return it back to you. So there's a saying that a man is known by the company he keeps. I think that's such a profound saying because that defines a lot about the type of people you love, the kind of people who love you back. And I've seen it. Genuine people will always be around genuine people, and fake people will always be around fake people, and scammers will be around scammers. And the funny part is the scammers will be scamming each other all the time, right? Or they'll probably join forces to scam others, etc., etc. And foolish people will always end up with foolish people. A scammer is a foolish person, and the one who gets scammed is equally foolish. On the other hand, there are intelligent people who meet intelligent people, who meet geniuses. And somebody would invest in Steve Jobs because he's as genius as Steve Jobs and he could see what Steve Jobs was. So it's very important that once you make relationships, try to enter communities, become part of communities, become part of groups, families, where you do see that they are like you, they're intelligent, they find value in you, and you value them equally. And just never, ever judge anyone. Love people, respect people, and be someone who carries the word peace on his forehead or on her forehead, and just go with the flow. It's a beautiful world. God bless you all. You all have a great week.
Shafat, that was amazing. Thank you, man.
You're very welcome.
Hey guys, it's popcorn style, so if anybody else wants to share, feel free to unmute. And great share, Shavat.
I can't keep up with that because that was incredible, Shafat. But I will say that I think that maintaining relationships in business is an endless learning experience. I think you have to often always be the learner, because the moment you stop learning, that's the moment you stop growing.
Oh, absolutely, Hank. Well, what I would say is the transactions in your business may stop, but the relationships may continue. Um, and sometimes transaction is where it starts, and then you have the customer LTV, right? And sometimes the relationship that turns into a transaction. And sometimes the transactions continue and you even forget that how many transactions have you guys executed. You know, there is this interesting notion that we as humans, we always try to define things, you know. So we have this funny thing, oh, I'm going to put you in my friend zone. I'm going to put you in my brother's zone. I'm going to put you in my partner's zone, this zone, that zone, personal zone, professional zone. I'm a person who really don't have such buckets. I don't like to put people in their zones because those zones are my own limits in my own mind, and it's a mess up. It's too much to handle, too much to manage. You should just know the basics in every relationship. This person, this guy, what do they want from you? Give it to them. You know, I have seen in my life two things. When someone is completely broke and is at the lowest of their life, their true colors will come out. And when someone is at the top apex of their life with power, money, wealth, fame, true colors will come out. So what I usually do, I try to put people in that position of power during a conversation, during a meeting, during whatever. And I try to see what the true colors are of that person. You see, how do they embrace appreciation? How do they embrace criticism? How do they embrace truth? How do they embrace if you try to trigger their beliefs? How do they embrace when you give them a good idea? How do they embrace improvement? How do they embrace critical thinking? How do they embrace emotional intelligence? These are few things that within 5 minutes you can figure out who the person is. It doesn't matter whether they're wearing a Cartier or a Rolex, or they drove in a Rolls Royce or a Bentley. It doesn't matter. We see all this all the time in Dubai. I don't really care who's who, and I don't even care about the titles that anybody carries. But yes, I always respect the title. And I'll tell you this, if somebody has been a janitor for the last 20 years, I respect that person because he has the resilience, the consistency for 20 years to serve in that position. I could never have done that. I would have been frustrated being a janitor for even maybe 1 week, right? So respect that person. Somebody who's the president of a country, no matter how corrupt or whatnot he or she is, that person is the president. He or she fought their way up. You did not. So respect that. But do not judge them. Do not compare who's better than you or below you just based on titles. Respect them for who they are. Learn from them. Share knowledge with them. And that's very much about it. And this is exactly where and how you build relationships, maintain relationships. And try not to be a show off. Be original, be authentic. Stay away from liars and just don't lie. Just don't lie. You know, be wise about what you share. Be wise before you open your mouth. Listen well, treat people well. But that's how you'll be treated. As relationships are simple. What you put in, most of the time, is what you get out. And if you think that the process in between is wrong or the other person is bad, help them out. They, any human being doesn't want to be a bad human being, right? Nobody says something deliberately which is wrong. People say right, everybody tries to be right. Everybody tries to be intelligent. Everybody tries to speak what's the best of their knowledge. So respect them. I've been married to a, well, I shouldn't be saying that, but let's say I've been with someone who's been more like a narcissist, right? And she has been mentally unwell. This whole time I've been trying to help her with mental health, with psychiatrists, with other people. And I wouldn't judge her for the way she would treat me. I would always extend help and support to her because that's what she needs. So understand that we are living in a world where mental health is a serious problem, where whatever we are consuming on media is a serious problem. Physical issues are a serious problem. People have, the generations that are coming up and have been there, have childhood traumas, college, teenage traumas, midlife crisis, loneliness in mid 50s, 60s onwards, old homes and all the rest of it. Respect, guys, respect the people, help them out. Do not judge them with their attitude or what they say, what they do. Just spread love, build those relationships. One last thing I would like to add is it's not only the prayers that you pray for yourself, that, oh God, I need this, I need this, I need that, thank God. Well, those prayers are also heard. Most of the times they're answered. But the real prayers are when someone else prays for you. Those prayers are answered way faster than anything else. So if you're living your life, just make sure that with every breath you take, every path you walk, you give something, you contribute something to your surroundings. Be it watering a plant of your 20 ml left in your water bottle, which you would otherwise throw in a garbage can. Just put it down on a pathway on the grass. Maybe those plants will, have some water and might nourish. Be a giver.
Shafat, I'm going to jump in here because I just came into the room, but you were absolutely amazing. You know that I like you. Um, and yeah, you have to give back, but you also have to step into the position sometimes where you have to let people go. They are not feeding into you. There is no value for them to be anywhere in your mindset. And that's where I think a lot of us we get twisted, right? Um, that, well, we're doing business with this person. Okay. Well, what are they doing to you? Are they making you to the point that you're, not eating every day or that you don't even want to go into the office because you don't even want to see the person? I mean, there are times in life, in business, that you have to let people go, get rid of them. They're like little leeches that attach to you, and you have to figure out, what am I doing? How can I get rid of that person? Because what they're saying to me is not working. But I just want to touch on that. I'll pass it back to y'all.
No, absolutely, Beth. You're right about that. You have to prune people outside of your life. You have to cut loose some relationships. It's very important. And it's not only because of your own self-love, mental health, physical health, etc. That is as important as is. But frankly speaking, it's equally bad for them. It slows you down. A person like myself, on which, I have about 300 people working in my advertising agency, another 20 in my investment firm, another 100 plus in my real estate company, right? So let's say about 500 people work for me directly. Then the businesses I've invested in, so cumulative 700 to 800 people, right? Now, multiply it by at least 4, because each one of them have a family, majority of them, or let's say multiplied by 2. That's 1,400 families, all right? Now, if there is a person who messes up with me, and because of my emotions or whatnot, or bad energy, I take a wrong decision, it's not only me who is at stake, it's 1,400 men, women, and children at stake. Their well-being, their life is at stake. So yes, such people, I sometimes prune them, not only for myself, because if it's up to me, I'll just tell them, you know what, suck whatever you want to suck out of me. I don't care because I'm strong enough, big enough, courageous enough, right? I don't let people suck out of me. I'm a very, very smart person, right? I know my boundaries. I put my fortresses, and I have my stuff that how far I need to let somebody in. But the real problem I let go of people is because if I'm not well, a lot of people are not well, and that is important. And in a regular scenario, let's say you're not somebody like me, bigger than me maybe, or maybe you have a wife, children, your parents. Well, we all have some people around us who would get affected just because you have a wrong person in your life who messes up your life all the time, and they just like to torture you. Maybe they don't want to, they don't intend to, but there's a friction because they're different, you're different, you both look at lives differently. So in that case, the good idea is not to argue and just let it be, let it go. And frankly speaking, the Beatles has this amazing song, Let It Be. So you know what? Just let it be. Let those people go.
Gotta let those people go. Put some ones in the chat if you feel like that, right? Because maintaining relationships sometimes is letting people go, letting them go. I appreciate that, Shafat. We coming in hot. If you guys are just now joining the XP Mentor, we've been ripping and running. Everybody's been going in, right? Talking about everything that's on their mind and on their heart. I appreciate everybody that's been sliding through. Make sure you guys, right? I want Jay to tap in. This free webinar. Jay, what's going on with this
Yeah,
webinar,
I'll,
man?
I'll hop in
It's
on that,
another
Stack.
great Robert. Let's tap in real quick, man, before I get into the media part.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, here we are. We're talking about maintaining relationships in business and life. You know, all business is all about relationship, as we've been now 3 hours, incredible conversations. So many people with such incredible takes and shares. But how can you create more relationships? Okay. First, how can you get more prospects, more leads? You've got to automate. The best thing to do is to automate. Diggably.io is your 15 automation platform, robust CRM, customer relationship management, as well as funnel system. Okay, that link right there, diggablywebinar.com. Jay put together a 45-minute powerful little webinar about how important automation is so that you can get more leads. And then talking about now you've got that contact, then you create that relationship to move them from prospect to customer. And even more importantly, then you move them from customer to brand advocate, somebody who's now touting you, that's referring you. That's the best form of advertising there is. So you go all the way from having no leads. We're going to show you how to be able to do that through automation. You can work with Stack and be able to help that happen big time. So we'll show you how to be able to do all that using Diggably, as well as then once you have the contacts, how to use automation. So you can garner hundreds and hundreds of new contacts in the next few weeks. And then you can use automation to be able to curate those into customers. So it is about building relationships. It's like what I talked about at the top of the house. I was talking about you need to be consistent. Okay, you need to be authentic. Well, you want to be consistent? Automate. That's the best way there is. Most people are not going to buy from you in the first conversation. You need to go back and back and back and back and back. Well, most people just don't do that. At 7 contacts, generally it's about a 70% closure rate, but only about 10% of people in sales contact 7 times. So it's almost ass backwards on what is successful versus what is being done. So automation allows you to be able to do that. You can afford to be able to get many more leads and contacts without using up all of your precious time, and then be able to curate that. So you can start to create what we call pillow money. So you can start to make money while you're sleeping 24/7. These funnels are going to work for you. So you've got to check out that link. It's a free webinar. Go ahead and sign up for that. And if anybody's got any questions about Diggably, I mean, it's a phenomenal platform. It is accessible, so simple. It is, an easy to use. It is also quite affordable. But check that out. And then if you got questions about Diggably, ask me. And then I'm telling you, in the next couple of days, we're going to be very excited to show you how to be able to use automation to blow up your social media marketing as well. This is stuff that we are doing for our businesses. We're focused on this every day. So that's why we're now sharing it out, because we're saying, hey, We're using this to drive our own personal businesses. And you should be doing it too, because only 1.5% of all companies with websites are using automation and funnels. Only 1.5%. And guess what? The majority is the big boys. So now we're bringing it to just solopreneurs, small businesses, medium businesses. You can do the same thing because you can afford it, and we're making it simple. Any questions? I'm throwing it up to you, Stack. Jump in, man.
Listen, we in the building. How to maintain relationships in business, automate your life, automate your lifestyle, tap in with different people. Collaboration is key. Collaboration is key for me. Adding value. Everybody's been going in. If you guys been enjoying what's going on, put some ones in the chat. If you guys been enjoying the conversation, enjoying the speakers that's been coming through, you've been enjoying everything, get up in the chat, share the room out, ping the room out, and let us know that you've been enjoying it. You've been liking it. You've been loving the shares, right? Make sure you guys tap in with stackpackmedia.com. Book your call there. Tap in with the new deal we just closed today. Tap in with the fragrance. Oh my God, we doing so much, and I'm grateful. It's about being grateful for what's in front of you so you can receive more. Be grateful for what's in front of you so that way you can receive more. That's what I love to go by. I'm loving it. If anybody else wants to grab the mic, let's keep flowing. Let's keep going. Who wants to, share next? How to maintain relationships in business and life. Let's go. If not, y'all already know what it is. Huh? It's a wrap, Jay. It's looking like it's a wrap.
All right. What they gonna do with that link at the top when we get out of here? Because
Listen,
you
man,
done
before
brought so
y'all
much
get out of
great
here,
content today, Stack. Tell them what they need to
all
see.
right, man. Since y'all was here, y'all was tapped in with me all day. Make sure you guys book the call. I'm gonna link up with you guys offline, see how we can add value in all your businesses on all social media platforms. I want to feature more people in my magazine because I want some new interviews to come out. I want to see how you can outsource and get on other magazines to tell your story as well. And I also want to see how I can put you in media billboard placements as well. So book the call, 15 minutes. Let's be in complimentary to each other's business to see how we can both amplify each other, getting that exposure, getting that media coverage, taking your business to the next level into new heights. So click the link. I appreciate you guys. And also visit stackpackmedia.com to see the new deal, like I was saying, the fragrance and everything we got going on over there. So appreciate you, Jay. Appreciate the room. XP Mentor. On the count of three, we out of here. 1, 2, 3. We out. Bye bye. We had a good room. XP.
Peace, everybody.